You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't gonna work.
We're not talking about any integrity in this
We are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Well, yes, that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No. There's potato vodka everywhere. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 170. I'm your host, John Rowe.
It's 171.
I said 171, didn't I?
You said 170.
What the shit? I even named this 171. I don't even know why I said that. All right. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 171. I'm your host, John Rowe.
And I'm your co-host, Adam Ham.
Oh, I was letting you pick that up.
Yeah.
You let a lot of dead air happen, Adam.
I wasn't sure if you were just pausing for a second for a
Yeah, I was just
effect,
pausing for dramatic effect to introduce you.
Yeah. I deserve a little dramatic effect, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
You think? So you still follow the IFL Science?
I do.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and look them up. Are they still terrible?
Yeah. At least half terrible.
Okay. Because, I used to follow this, way back when, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they made that website, and then, so you, look up, let's look at this article, what they posted an hour ago. Did you know the Amazon flows backwards? Oh, see, okay, good. So this one's an actual article.
Yeah.
That they wrote. They don't have... their website's still 8 fucking billion ads, but at least it's an article. But what I was getting when I was with them was a lot of just, here's a video on YouTube, and here's our webpage with an embedded YouTube video.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucking bullshit.
Yeah. You still see some of that, but,
You still see some of that?
yeah. I don't know. I just ignore those.
Yeah. Well, here we go. 25 strangest things found on an X-ray. Well, let's just see how many pages they split this into. It's a video. YouTube video. Great.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. That kind of content really bothers me. So I follow a science alert. And that seems to be not all videos, I suppose. There's an article about Einstein's handwriting being made into a font. I think it's pretty cool. See, this one is a Vimeo video. This watch what damage sitting does to your body in 60 seconds, right? But it also has probably 100 to 200 words below it describing what happens in the video. So at least it's an article.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the minimum, it can't just be a fucking phone, a fucking picture. It has to be a real deal. I don't know. Bothers me when it has that. And Science Alert seems a little bit better. Every once in a while, I worry about some of the stuff they put on here.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have some of the weird, I don't know, immune system stuff. I don't know. They toe the line a little bit too much, I think, with some of the pseudoscience bullshit that you see on Facebook. And we've complained enough about that in the past. Remember? We had issues upon issues.
See, the science ain't no science.
Exactly. This bullshit I see posted is just... How? I guess it's just, people trying to sell you stuff,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Unfortunately.
Don't be sold to.
Yeah.
Right, Adam?
Yeah.
Anyway. Graduation weekend is this weekend.
For you.
For me. Well, for everyone. I'm just seeing lots of graduation
We had ours
pictures.
a week ago or so.
Oh, okay. Weird. Just letting people out a week early, huh?
Sure.
Get them off the campus.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's see. What's your week been like, Adam? What are you filling the time with?
A lot of shows coming to a close, either penultimate episodes or finales.
Penultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Our famous imagining.
That was you made a comic out of that, didn't you?
Did I make a comic? I don't think I made a comic.
I thought you did.
Penultimate Spider-Man.
I thought you made a little
web
sketch.
comic?
Yeah.
Sketch. Maybe it was a single art piece.
Yeah.
Of Penultimate Spider-Man.
Right.
I think that steampunk Spider-Man exists, though, as like a style of Spider-Man fiction.
That would not surprise me.
I think that is like a spider universe.
Yeah.
Steampunk Spider-Man? Let's hear my clicky keyboard.
1800 Spider-Man.
Let's see here. Steampunk Spider-Man. Let's see. It's an IO9 article. We'll just see. Oh, it's just some sketches.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a legitimate Spider-Man era. I actually kind of like the idea of that. And then, like, Venom is like a scary, like, one of those creepy pseudo-doctor guys. And you got your Rhino's the guy with a bunch of metal plates.
Yeah.
You know, I think steampunk Spider-Man's pretty fucking badass looking.
It'd be pretty cool. I remember we talked about it for a long time at one point.
I think it'd be great. You know,
Yeah.
well, there wouldn't be a lot of buildings for Spider-Man to swing between.
No.
But you know, he'd still have like the Spidey senses, Spider sense. I always thought that was a weird tacked-on Spider-Man power. Do you think, you know, like I don't think like the spider as an animal has precognition of any type.
Right.
But apparently Spider-Man does, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
I
know. Spiders aren't really known for their senses, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's just because they have 8 eyes and have, you know, maybe a better lookout
vision.
danger.
But, I mean, wouldn't he just get Spidey vision then?
That's what I would think. But
Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, what are you doing?
maybe they just thought he was too lame without something a little bit unique.
Yeah.
Because he's just really strong and crawls on things.
Yeah.
Fairly agile.
All right, Adam, Adam, what is Spider-Man? I want that description for Spider-Man.
He's pretty strong and crawls on things.
All right.
Yeah.
Your child's favorite superhero
That's
is pretty
right.
strong and crawls on
And
things.
fairly agile.
Not even very agile. He's just fairly agile.
Actually, he's actually one of the probably most agile superheroes, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's really smart, too, although that's not really anything to do with his powers. He's just a really smart guy. Developed his web shooters and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Yep. Spiderman.
Yep.
Still falling into my Marvel hole.
Yeah. I jumped deeper yet because, for one thing, I watched the Avengers again this weekend.
You watched the second of the Avengers.
Yeah, I watched the second
Ultron Age of.
Indeed. With my stepdad and stepsister.
Oh, okay.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
And also, I did what you suggested. I don't know if we suggested on air or not, but I ended up signing up for the Marvel Ultimate.
I believe I did.
Yeah.
I've appreciated it to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a far more amount of issues lately with their application, like, crashing all the time now.
I've noticed that, too. Mine is actually really... my biggest problem is I have a hard time, like, resuming stuff. Like, it just pulls up a black
I've never
screen.
had that problem.
Huh?
Mine seems to be great with that, but it's just, like... So I was, like, using their, discover new content, find story arcs. And when I click the Civil War story arc, it just crashes the app immediately.
Really?
So, like, oh, that's great.
Oh.
That's dumb. But then you can search for Civil War, and then it just shows a list of comics related to it.
Yeah.
In order of publication. So that's the exact same list. But it's like, why is it crashing? Like, what the fuck? Like, it wasn't crashing when I was using it, and now it is.
Mine, I have to resume from my library. I have to, like, add it to my library and then, like, resume from there, as opposed to just going to the home, like, recently read. If I
are you using your Apple iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why, because it's a piece of shit and it doesn't pause, apps.
No, it does
mine.
Pause.
Adam, there's a... Okay, so on an Android device, you actually have 3 buttons.
Yeah.
There is a button that opens tabs with recent apps, and I just scroll to that, and I hit the button for Marvel Unlimited, and it goes to the exact page I was on last I had the program open.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice feature that Android phones have.
Well, mine just goes to, like, the resume thing when I do it, app opens fine, but then I open the
yeah,
comic.
but it isn't saving the state of
It
the
is,
app.
though. That's the thing, because if I go back into the library and reopen it, it goes right back there. It keeps the state. If I open from the library.
I don't get your meaning. So you close the app,
Yeah.
and then you open it, and it's not at the page that you were on?
It opens up the home screen that has, like, the recently read...
Yeah, exactly. It's not saving it doesn't suspend the app. It puts it in, like, sleep mode. And
it might,
when
but
it
I always manually close them, because I don't like to have a bunch of apps running.
That's ridiculous.
It saves memory.
Depending on what app it is. Like, I don't think the Marvel one's pulling a lot of data in the background.
Well, if I put it in the sleep, it comes back fine.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, that's what you got to do.
I close it out, usually.
I guess I'm looking at it on my tablet, though, which doesn't have the 4G battery drain going on or anything, so I don't mind having, like, 20 tabs open. And Android's actually pretty good at resource management. I guess my tablet's super powerful too, so it doesn't really slow it down.
Well, mine doesn't. It doesn't slow it down either. It's another thing actually too. It's more
Is
as
this
opposed
just-
to.
Is
It's
this
avoiding
just like
clutter.
post-traumatic stress
Well,
of having a phone that got slow when you had too much stuff open, so now you're just preemptively being less
it feels
cluttered?
like good. It feels like good house cleaning or good maintenance, but also
You're really good at house cleaning, Adam? I don't know about that.
on electronic devices.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
but also it's just one of those things where like if I pull up all my suspended apps, I don't want to have to like search through a bunch of them.
Fair enough.
I usually have a podcast one app open all the time,
Yeah.
and
Your main apps.
maybe an
open most of
audiobook
them.
one too.
How does that work on the phone? How does that work for reading comics? Is it okay?
It's I mean, it's a little small on the phone, but other than that, yeah, it works fine.
iPhone 6 has got a pretty nice screen, though, so...
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful.
I'm pretty sure, doesn't it have a panel view, thing?
I think it
built
does.
in?
I haven't really fiddled around with it too much.
Okay.
I usually just
So-
have it do the whole screen. I just I use my pinchy zoom to kind of.
Yeah.
Roll
I just
around.
kind of read it. Yeah. It's beautiful on a full tablet, though.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
looks good.
It's like reading a page.
But actually, that does bring me to one of my other points about it. Is that I
Sure.
kind of wish they had like a browser viewer.
They do-ish.
No, I haven't seen one for Ultimate.
What do you mean? Oh, no, I've read comics on my computer before, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just sign into the website and then click on a comic and then hit read now, and it brings up like a weird reader window.
I couldn't actually find the comics anywhere on the site for some reason.
Oh, I remember trying because if you remember, if looking at the last episode's image is a picture of She-Hulk's butt, which I snipped while having the comic open on my computer screen. So,
okay.
I was able to get into the comics and read them, and it had the same kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
I don't
there
know.
is a way.
I didn't look a whole lot except for when I originally signed up, so maybe I just missed it. And
I think you have to like sign up and then like click a link that takes you to the list of stuff.
oh, maybe okay.
But it's not like part of the main site. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
So I kept like clicking on like browse and discover, and I kept getting these, things, and then clicking
telling
on
you
them,
to
I-
get the app, and you're like, well, I have
Yeah.
it, and I would like
Exactly.
to read it. Yeah. Yeah, they could use a little bit more streamlining. But, I mean, when it works, it's great.
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful
great
service.
deal. I mean, fucking $10 a
Yeah,
month.
totally.
I mean, Jesus.
And I'm getting 2 months free, so
Yeah.
totes.
Yeah.
Totes my goats. Mm-hmm. Actually, I decided to start reading Civil War as well because that sounded interesting, and I
Started
haven't gotten
reading
too
what?
far in it. Civil War as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten very far in it, but I love Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
he's kind of like doing the right thing, but he's like, man, this is...
Yeah, I haven't even
is
gotten
not
that far
good.
into it, but it's mostly like them going to Washington, and he's like Tony's
Yeah,
dude.
his pal friend.
Yeah, his pal friend.
His Robin to his Batman.
Yeah, I just love how like whatever he tries to do, it always ends up being like not the right thing. Like talking
I know, he
to,
does
like,
all
random
of the wrong things
Congress
for
people.
the right reasons,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
kind of annoying. Mm-hmm. But kind of cool, too. I don't know. Let's see. What else you been up to?
Other than that, not a whole lot. Like I said, I saw.
What kind of shows are ending? What are you...
Just again. Grimm is down to, I think it's the second to last one. Supernatural is down to the second to last one.
Yeah.
I finished off Arrow this week.
Okay.
I think Flash is finishing next week. Gotham finished
All right.
last week, maybe. So there's a lot of season finales going on.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
it's good.
a lot of the Star Wars comics are available on there too now.
Oh, yeah.
Seems pretty cool.
Marvel owns them all now, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Disney or whoever, yeah.
Yep.
So they are also on there.
Yep.
I played a little bit more Pillars of Eternity. I haven't had as much time to play that as I want, but I think I'll have I think the town will be opening up a bit now that a lot of my shows are ending. So
Yeah.
looking forward to play some more of that. Oh, and also I'm thinking about purchasing The Witcher 3 this week.
Yeah, I'm really tempted about that. I guess I'm waiting for reviews.
One of them, I think it was GameSpot has like a 10 out of 10 review for it. And the guys in Giant Bomb didn't seem... Well, it was Jeff. But Jeff always thinks everything's terrible.
I was about to say, the review... not everything is terrible. I just think that game is not for him.
No, that's what I mean. Like, Jeff has
very clear with these, like, I didn't really like it, but
Yeah.
I didn't really like any of the other games, so
Right.
take that for what you will.
He has kind of niche tastes, so...
No, definitely. Definitely. Witcher 3, though, huh? Are you going to get that for PC?
I was really considering whether to get it for PC or PS4.
Is there any sort of multiplayer available?
I
Probably
don't think
not,
so.
right? You never know. Maybe there's co-op hunting.
I'm pretty sure not.
The views all seem pretty good, though.
Yeah, most of them seem really good.
Via the Metacritic. Metacritic sucks. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't ever look at
Because
it.
I'm trying to read reviews here, and we got Eurogamer Poland. What the fuck is that? GameSpot did give it 100, though.
Yeah.
Which seems crazy, but, you know. Oh, this one's a 98, you know. That's a good score.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more than the 5-star scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, the lowest score right now is an 80, so probably a pretty good game.
Yeah,
I wonder if it runs on the PS4 pretty well.
I think so. From what I've heard.
I guess that would be my worry.
From what I've heard, the action runs fine. I've heard they've had like a little bit of weird like frame lag or frame rate slowdowns, like when cutscenes start, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about working on like putting out a patch for that or something. But
sure.
From what I've heard, during the actual action, nothing slows down.
That's good.
So. And yeah, I think if I pre-order it and get digital code for it, I can get like $7 off. It's like 10% off.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation Store had that.
Yeah.
There's also a flash sale going on right now.
GOG had it for, I think, 20% off.
Oh, for the PC version?
Yeah, but I don't know if I really want to do that.
It'll probably run better on your PS4, honestly.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Really depends. I've heard the PC version specs are insane for the maximum stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the video card for probably most of it, but
what video card do you run with?
Was it 7700? I think GTX with 3 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, that's probably good.
It's pretty good.
You don't have the 970 or 980?
I do not have the 970.
You have the older than those.
Yeah.
But still 3 gigs of video memory.
Right.
Yeah, that's mine too. I guess when I get my ComputerGate 2015 update, when I get it back...
yeah.
An update for ComputerGate 2015.
Yeah.
The video card has been sent back to the manufacturer.
Mm.
And apparently the guy said that they were much quicker responding this time and it should be back soon. So
that's good.
Yeah. Sounds like they actually got their shit together on that one. So he said as soon as that card comes in and it tests good, then we'll be able to give it to you. So
sweet.
Fucking finally, I'll have a gaming PC.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's all I have to say. But PS4 has a flash sale going on right now for the PSN.
I barely had time to look at it. The only thing I saw that really sparked my interest right off the top was that Nidhogg was like $5.
You need to buy it, and we need to play it.
Yeah.
Because I bought it because it's $5 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know by the time this podcast goes up if it'll still be that cheap. But
I think it lasts till the 18th, I think. So.
Okay, perfect. So definitely check that out, everybody. But the Nidhogg... kind of a 2-player fencing kind of game, but with some crazy platforming, in it as well. And it looks pretty cool, for that respect. And but I've seen it played, and I was like, it's kind of interesting. But I kind of get tired of watching people play it. Maybe it's just like watching people playing fighting games. But you control the game, and oh my god. Like, it is beautiful. Like, the responsiveness to the controls and how quick the combat is. And you really do feel like when you lose a sword fight, you're like, oh, that was my fault. Like, I juked too high, and I got, stabbed. And then you respawn really fast. And that's a really cool game. Kind of the objective is you both kind of start in the center of a map. Yeah. The objective is to run all the way to one side, and the other guy's objective is to run on one way to all the way to the other side. And when you die, you're dead for about 5 seconds, and then you respawn. So they try and run all the way across the room to get to the next room, and it's like 3 or 4, or probably like 3 rooms from the center out each way to get to the end. And then you get to the end, and you jump off a cliff and get eaten by a giant snake.
Yeah,
that part's weird, but
yeah. And you can only run like when you've killed the person once.
Correct.
Too. Like,
yes.
Yeah, you have to like kill them and then
you can't just run past them.
Right.
You
have
to kill them once, and then you can run. And if they don't follow you, you can run out the door. So you can throw your sword, which leaves you unarmed if it misses. It's actually pretty cool.
You can roll.
You can roll. You can
pull people's spines out
kick.
if you don't have a sword.
Yep. You can jump on. You can dive kick on someone and twist their neck. It's really cool, and it's got a really interesting 2D art style that I would say is like a step above,
it's like
2800
kind of,
maybe, like Atari, but like a little bit higher than that with colors. So it's actually really cool looking and really fluid and dynamic, and it has online too. Apparently, I didn't even see that, but that seemed really fun, and it's a really good kind of 2-player couch co-op game. So
that was one that jumped out at me. I didn't really see any others that really hopped out at me too much, but
I picked up 4 games. I picked up that. I picked up Terraria again for the 3rd time buying it. But I love that game.
I think I'm done with that.
And I was like, it's $5. Like if I end up playing it like a month from now, I'll be happy I paid $5 for it.
Sure.
And it's really small too. I think it's like 200 megabytes, so it doesn't really take up a lot of space on the drive.
Yeah.
What else did I buy? I bought the Trials Fusion, which looked really cool. I like the first. I really like Trials. So.
Yeah, I played the first one, and I think that was a lot of fun. But I think I kind of had enough of that. I never really got that far in it. I played it for a decent amount of time, but that's enough for me. I think
I really like those types of games, so
it's cool.
Excited
it's
to pay
definitely
$5 for that. And then I got The Walking Dead season 1.
Oh yeah,
they had the entire seasons 5, so.
Yeah, I think I have the whole season 1 on Steam.
Yeah, I don't own that anywhere, so. I bought the first episode for $5 on Xbox way back when, so now I have the rest on PS4, so that's cool. Yeah, some really cool sales on there. Looking forward to playing those games. I'm sure I'll get back to next week about that. I played a little bit of Nidhogg today, but not much else before we got started recording.
Sure.
Still playing a lot of Lunar on my device. That is a PS1, of course, with the controller. I'm playing with the controller. I'll say that, but I'm enjoying that. Got all the way to Maribia, but we beat the first boss, and Maribia is kind of where the game opens up big time because it's a humongous city, and there's just a billion people to talk to. And I got the strategy guide though too, so I'm
trying to think how far. I think I made it to like the volcano area, and that's
okay. That's a good. That's about halfway through, maybe a little bit past. God, man, we should play through that game.
Yeah,
that's not a terrible idea.
It's pretty cool.
It's a really good game. It's a real. Oh God, I forgot how fucking good the combat was. Like it's a turn-based, 2D game, but like as you level up, your character will get 2 attacks in a round, and each character will have a different range. So like there's a tactics screen where you can set positioning in your half of the screen, so you can have your melee guys up front and then your healers in the back, and that so that when the combat starts, the enemies will move towards you. So they have to be in melee range to hit you,
Yeah.
So if they can't walk far enough to get to you, they'll stop their turn because they've used up all their actions, basically. So I really kind of like that because it adds just a tiny bit of that like positioning strategy to the game while not being overwhelmingly complicated, to make it not too complicated.
Yeah, totally.
And I do appreciate that it is not a random battle game.
Yeah.
That's something I really dislike when I play like old Final Fantasies.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point too where I'm kind of that way.
It's just like, come on, I'm just walking through here. You know what I mean? Like, whereas at least with like Lunar and like Chrono Trigger and games like that, you see the enemy and you can try to avoid them. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
But you know, when you do, you're like, all right, yep, but didn't have to fight that fight. Or
even if it's something where I can't avoid it, I prefer to like at least know a fight is coming up.
Yeah, like Earthbound is the same way. One of the great things about Earthbound is that once you get to a high enough level, enemies run away from you.
Yeah.
And then if you actually run into them, you'll auto win. It'll just say, you know, smash, defeated. Like, and then you get the experience for it. So it's actually pretty cool. Systems like that. And I really do appreciate that versus like a random battles. It's just that Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm remembering some old Flash cartoons on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
Of, stepping one step.
Yep.
And, you know, and then the music starts up. And you're like, fuck. Random encounter. You know, one step out of the city. So, yeah. So I've been playing that. I've been hanging out. I guess I got a list of stuff here that I put on our chat.
Yeah. I put 1 or 2 on here, too.
Yeah, you got some stories. We'll get to those.
Yeah. Got lots of those.
I just watched a movie. We can talk about that. But let's talk about Weeds. You watch Weeds?
I watched Weeds. I want to say the first 3 seasons or something.
So I'm going to say...
Like, there's a big kind of twist turnaround.
That's what I've heard.
Completely lost, like, all my interest in it then. I was like, okay, well, that's that.
All right, so... I don't know what the twist is. And Lauren was like, we should really watch the show if you like it. I recently got all the way caught up in Orange is the New Black. So,
oh, yeah. Good stuff.
And this is the same kind of creator, showrunner, Jenji Kohan. And I really like it. I like Weeds. It isn't nearly as good as Orange is the New Black. It's a little bit more pre-television revolution era.
Yeah, it's a great show to watch if you're just kind of like looking for something to pass the time with.
Because there's still some kind of ridiculous stuff that happens in it. And
yeah,
you're like,
it's
that's
funny.
Not very realistic. Or, you know, like, I don't really like that. And some of the character motivations kind of swing a little bit sometimes. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, it's not as dramatic as it could be because it kind of switches between the drama and comedy weirdly, you know?
Right.
Like, there's like episode 3 at one point where she's hanging out at her, I guess, like, supplier's house. And then just like they have like a drive-by shooting, right? And those bullets start flying. Everyone drops to the ground. She just stands there weirdly, you know? And then, like, they're like, oh, man, that was crazy. And then she's, like, scared the rest of the show. And it's like what? Like, what? That was weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you hadn't experienced that before or, like, thought about that or...
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird shift in drama quickly that was just like,
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Orange is the New Black does an incredible job switching between the more humorous aspects but then the realistic, dramatic aspects that are kind of what makes the show so good.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas Weeds is a little bit clunkier with that. But it is really fun.
It's
like a lot of the characters are awesome, so it's really kind of fun to watch. You know, you know, your Uncle Andy's and your Kevin Nealon's incredible.
Yeah.
And I can't remember her name because I've only like 10 episodes in here. But the neighbor lady, the one who's,
yeah,
she's incredible. She's my favorite character by far.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She is pretty amazing.
Always does the hilarious shit. So yeah, I'm into that show. I've been watching it, but I've heard there's a certain point. And Lauren was like, there's going to be a point where you're going to say, we should continue watching this or we should stop.
Yeah.
And she's like, you'll know when it happens.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll find out. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
I think I do. I mean, I might not even made it that far, but...
She said she watched it 2 seasons after it happened.
Okay.
And she was like, that was too many.
Yeah.
I stuck with it too long.
Okay. I think I know then. And I stopped it right there.
I don't know what could happen to make me not want to watch a show. You know what I mean? It has to be something drastic.
It was a big change. It happened, I'll tell you, it happens at the end of a season. Mm-hmm. And I started the next season, and I watched, I think, maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and I was just like, no.
Just a major, like, plot change, basically?
Yeah, just a big plot thing that happens.
All right. This kind of turns you off a little bit. Because Orange is the New Black has some of those big plot changes, but
it does. But I don't know. I'm trying to think back of why it was so bad afterwards.
I guess you know what? I'll find out on my own.
Because I remember what happened, and I was just trying to think,
like why it just sucked so much.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a change in the tone of the show as well, or if there was something else
From what I've heard, I think it's the change in the tone as well as a plot thing. Which
I don't know.
Like, well,
I gave it a few episodes, and I was like, something's changed, and I don't like it.
I don't like it. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll see that when it comes out, or when I get to it. What else? So you went down a Marvel hole a little bit further.
Yeah, not too much. Just in the fact that I rewatched Age of Ultron, and I started reading some of those comics as well.
Yeah.
It makes me wish I'd kind of kept up on comics more, but also I realized that like once you get Ultimate and you like just take a look at all the series, and I looked at the series list, and it's not just like issues; it's like lists of series runs, and there are 30 bajillion of them.
Yeah,
and it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, no one person can keep up on all this bullshit. I mean, even if you just stick with a couple of characters, you're probably going to have a hard time keeping up with all the crazy twists and turns and, events that carry over through different runs and stuff. And but yeah, I like what they do for, like you said, like with the Civil War, they have all the different issues in order there from the different from everywhere that has storyline involved with it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Secret Wars one is like 100. Well, no, Civil War's like 100. I guess it's like 1,000 or something like that. Like literally like 1,000 different issues from.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds crazy to me, but I don't know. It's also weird for me because I don't know why. I've always kind of had a little bit of knowledge of what's kind of gone on in some of the major events with the comics, but it's weird to me now every once in a while when I see like an X-Men character show up in like Spider-Man or something like that, because I'm like, because I'm used to the MCU now. Yeah. It's like, where Marvel heroes and X-Men never the twain shall meet in the movie world. So
yeah,
it's always kind of weird for me when they pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They actually are the same property and can totally interact with each other.
Yeah.
Professor X totally can talk with Tony Stark. That's something that can happen.
So I'm going to recommend also the comic Saga. I think I talked about it a little while back.
Oh yeah.
But that's still going on, and I know Lance hated it for some reason when we
I heard
talked
good things about it.
I think he reacted quickly.
Yeah.
It's an interesting style, I would say. It's very its own thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's very harsh and jarring the way that it begins, because it is just a crazy world of crazy aliens and crazy, scary blood, gore, nudity, sex. Like, it is just adult. I mean, this had the specific App Store debacle where they had like where the comic was available on the bookstore and on Apple, and they censored pages, originally.
Oh yeah.
And then they basically were like, oh shit, we can't do that. So they uncensored it. Supposedly that's good. I don't know if I think there's a Marvel Unlimited Plus that lets you read some of the newer stuff as well.
I think they have a lot of the newer stuff actually on Ultimate. I think
really? I've heard the new Thor is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right now with the female Thor.
Yeah.
Which supposedly is really good, though. Like, really interesting.
I guess Marvel is heading for one of those events, kind of like when DC did the New 52 reboot.
Or they're going to reboot a lot of stuff.
Or they're going to, just fucking clean the slate with a lot of this stuff.
Sounds good. So that's been recommended, as well as supposedly the new Hellboy series that's happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hellboy in the BPRD 1952. Also highly recommended.
Cool.
It's not, I guess, Mike Mignola's art at this point. I guess he's not doing the art, but supposedly it's really good. But that's the, if you remember from Hellboy 2, the BPRD Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. That's kind of the stuff that was happening in that movie, where you had some of the other characters that were showing up.
Yeah, like the weird fish guy, and
yeah, exactly, and the smoke guy, guy made of gas.
Yeah.
But anyway, supposedly it's really good though. It's a little bit a departure of the art style from the Mignola style, but I mean, I love that. That's part of the huge reason I love Hellboy so much, is just it's gorgeous to read, because it's like just they're kind of like, it's just a very different, style with super heavy inks and like really thick block lettering and stuff that looks really cool. But yeah, so I'd recommend that. Anything else?
I ended up looking through a bunch of because I don't know why, because I'm dumb and have too much time on my hands. I started looking through a bunch of Iron Man armor, like different versions of
types.
It. Yeah, the Marvel like wiki or whatever.
Yeah,
and I realized I guess it's kind of funny. You know how Marvel has their different universes, like the numbered universes. Like the main was like 616 or something.
Yeah.
And I guess they have one for the movie one now. It's 199999.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. They have like all their MCU stuff. That's a Marvel universe, a numbered Marvel universe now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I was going to ask you about whether you had an opinion on something. It's not Marvel, but it is comics related. Have you seen the new Supergirl trailer?
No, I haven't.
It's like 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like really...
Were some hot takes going on?
There were some... It was really divided. Like, a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people like hated it. A lot of people compared it to that Saturday Night Live skit they did with Black Widow.
Yeah.
Where it was like Black Widow's own movie, and it was all like...
I heard they rolled it back. I heard they also put another trailer out, too, that was...
Oh, did they?
A little bit differently focused, I guess.
Okay. I was going to reiterate what somebody else said on Twitter. I don't remember who exactly, but I think the entire problem with the original trailer was... I thought it looked good for myself.
What's the plot? I haven't watched it, but for someone who hasn't watched it, like, kind of what's the trailer kind of showing Supergirl as?
Supergirl is Superman's cousin. Also from Krypton.
Okay, good.
Kind of basically the same scenario, but it seems like maybe she was sent out later because she seems younger. I don't know how that works.
Yep.
Maybe they're on a neighboring planet that collapsed later. I don't know. But apparently she was adopted by this family. She has like an adopted sister, and she grew up trying to be normal. Like, I guess maybe Superman did too, or whatever. She works... There's a little bit of a Devil Wears Prada kind of vibe for where she works. She works under this Callista Flockhart evil fashionista lady.
To be fair, though, and this is kind of difficult to say. I mean, like, people may complain about that, but, like, if you're looking at the girl demographic...
Yeah.
You kind of want the girl to work at a place where a girl would want to work. You know what I mean?
I think so, too.
So I feel like if I was into... And I'm not saying every girl should be, and you can't really peg someone down as this, but, if you're talking about, like... I think probably there is a significant chunk of women that would be, like, working at, like, a fashion magazine, would be kind of a cool thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For, like, me, as, like, a guy, like, if a guy was working at, like, let's say, like, a tech magazine, or, like... a GQ, like a men's fashion magazine. That's kind of a cool job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, that doesn't bother me as much. Because, I mean, a job's a job's a job's a job.
No,
I mean,
no.
like, it's not the main, part of the show. It's just...
I mean, they did show some weird stuff. Well, so she's got, like, a friend magazine who's a guy who definitely has the hots for her, but seems to be friend-zoned.
Okay. She's friend-zoning, though.
Yeah, she's friend-zoning.
Oh, snap.
And she meets like Ben Urich from. Took a picture of Superman, or not Ben Urich.
Okay.
That's Marvel. Sorry.
Yeah,
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
She's like, "Oh, cool! That's a great, awesome picture of him. You're this guy who knows Mark Carlson." She doesn't say that.
Yeah, she's like, this guy who I've heard of.
But yeah, it's just some weird stuff. It's weird because it's a long trailer. There's like her sister saying like. You always wanted a normal life. You should, should really consider being normal. And then this flight that she's on starts crashing. The one her sister's on, so she ends up going out and saving it. And there's like this big buzz around, like, who is this chick? She's on the wing of this plane after it landed in the water. Like, who is she? Who is this lady? Supergirl. And then it's kind of like she lets in her geek friend in on the secret, and there's kind of stuff going on there. But then there's just some pretty cool, badass looking stuff. Like, it looks like she's kind of pulled in some kind of organization for like fighting supervillains.
Yeah,
which seems kind of awesome. Some cool action. And then there's like this one part where her sister comes up to the door and she's like, it looks like she's quit being a superhero for some reason. She's like kind of bummed out or something like that. And she's like, I need you. The world needs you. But first, you gotta get changed or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like really kind of, I thought it was dumb, but you know.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that I don't think would probably be as bad in the show, but like just showing
in the trailer,
out of context, it's just like, oh,
ew,
this is Supergirl, you know?
Yeah.
You know? But and the worst thing was, and I think it's really the reason why a lot of people hated it, is the first half is kind of okay, but then like the second half is put on by this like, there's like an Ariana Grande song in the background or something like that that's playing the entire time, and it's just like, maybe not the best choice if you're going for a comic book thing. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it looks actually really good. DC Universe TV has been really awesome. I'm scared about their movies, but the TV stuff I love. I love Flash, Arrow. Also, they have the new spinoff coming out called Legends of Tomorrow, which is going to have Arthur Darvill, who is Rory in Doctor Who, as like a main character. He comes from the future. He's a time traveler.
Okay, yep.
And
that's a Doctor Who tie-in, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right, sounds great. Yeah,
but he has to build a team, I guess, to like save something in the future. So that looks badass.
That
like DC is doing awesome TV shit.
Seems like it.
I think so.
Sure.
So I'm excited to see Supergirl. I just wondered if you'd seen the trailer and had any opinion on it, because
no, I haven't actually.
Everybody seems to either love it or hate it.
Yeah. All right, Adam.
Yeah.
Got an update here, because that sale on the Flash sale.
Yeah.
Also PS3, and there's some incredible stuff on here on sale. I guess chief among it, you got some newer games. I guess BioShock, the first one, but Borderlands 2, both $5. Everything's $5 basically. Give or change 10 cents. Give or take 10 cents. Let's see here. But there's also Little Big Planet 2, but there's the Mass Effect trilogy.
I saw that.
For $5. That seems like an incredible value.
Yeah.
I may pick that up because my fucking Xbox is basically barely running at this point.
Yeah.
What else is there? Need for Speed Hot Pursuit's a really great game for $5 if you're into that. Here's the big one. Ni no Kuni, $5.
Oh, wow.
If you haven't played that...
If I didn't already have it, that'd be
amazing.
amazing.
I own it as well, because I played a whole bunch of it when I bought it, and I need to finish that game.
I know, right?
I'm about, 15 hours in. I really just need to continue, because it's really fucking good.
It is good.
I don't like the combat as much in that game.
It's kind of hard.
It's an action combat that's really difficult and unforgiving.
Pretty unforgiving.
You get hit hard, and you have to recover quickly. Okami HD is $5.
Oh, that's a deal. I might pick that up.
Well, it's only $14 apparently normally.
I love Okami though.
I've never played it.
Game.
I've seen it played, but
love
to try it.
I love it.
There's Pac-Man Museum, which I believe is like a billion different versions of Pac-Man. I don't know. That's if you're into that. But there's literally 100 games. Red Faction Guerrilla, which is a great game, is $5.
I should pick that up because I don't.
You should, because it's the destructible environment game, and that's actually I remember playing a hell of a lot of that game, and just running around throwing C4 on buildings and just leveling entire encampments. The remakes of Prince of Persia 1, 2, and 3 are $5. The HD versions of those.
5 apiece or 5 for
5 apiece.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So where do you can get Mass Effect trilogy?
Well,
for $5?
It's because they released the Mass Effect trilogy as a single game thing. God, I should buy that. I really should. And play. Well, no, you know what? I have the PC versions actually. I think I'd rather play the computer versions of those.
I think I have 2 and 3 on Xbox 360. I think I borrowed one from you actually.
I think I rented it actually.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I rented it from
Gamefly.
Gamefly. and finished it, and I gave it to you because I was like, all right, and you finished it real quick, so I
did.
could send it back. That game wasn't, or no, you finished it before me, if I remember.
I might have.
Yeah, because I remember you came in and you're like, okay, this last part's kind of hard, and I kind of tank rolled through it.
Oh, that's right, because you had the fucking...
I face rolled through it. I had the super overpowered build that was soldier with like the extra shields and health tree. So I basically would, my shields would take a lot of damage,
right? But
and then they would disappear after taking that damage, but I have so much health that it would take a long time to knock me down.
Yeah.
And then you had an ability that was a 30-second cooldown of instant full shield regen.
Yeah.
So by the time my shields had gone down, the regen was already ready to be clicked. So it was basically unlimited shield.
Pretty much.
Which was incredible. And I just walked through that entirely difficult final area and was
I had a Vanguard before Vanguards were good.
Well, no, you had a Vanguard when Vanguards were risky.
They were riskier.
Yeah, riskier,
sure.
Definitely. But yeah, so...
Or they had their cool charge move.
I mean, I'm definitely going to buy that for $5, because just to have a version of that I'd be able to play for $5.
Man, now you've reminded me how fun that game is. I want to play...
Oh, no, I'm not going to buy that. Sorry. I'm going to get my computer back. I believe in my ComputerGate problems will be fixed, so I'll be able to play Mass Effect 1 on the PC again.
I can't wait till Mass Effect 4 comes out. Or whatever they call it.
They'll get announced, yeah, I think.
Yeah, man, God, I want more Mass Effect so bad.
Yeah.
I love those games. I do.
Yeah.
I even like 3, and not a lot of people seem to really dig, at least the end of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Man.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah. Seems really weird. I just got an email from Microsoft about my prepaid 3+ 1 month Xbox Live Gold subscription was canceled. What does that mean?
Do you have an old card on it, maybe?
Maybe it just...
I've done that before, where it's been a long time since...
Me. It's been so long since... Maybe that was the last card that I had set on it. That's probably what happened.
That happened to me. Because if you buy a big chunks of time, like when your card expires, it'll be like 6 months after your card
I haven't connected a Microsoft system in ages.
Yeah, no, me too.
Man, I should have been getting those games with gold downloads.
They haven't haven't had a lot of good games with gold downloads, though.
Really?
Like PS Plus is still the way to go, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like that. Yeah, it's just my last purchase on here was in 2013, so... Alright, yeah. I haven't been on there. I was just worried that maybe somebody had stolen my fucking account or something, but guess not. Yeah, so, I don't know. That seems like some cool stuff. What else? Oh, yes, I had another gaming thing I wanted to talk about. And we'll get more to this. And when I visit, we are gonna fucking record podcasts. That's gonna happen next time. Because I'm visiting in about a month, actually. A little bit less than a month from now.
Yeah.
Second or third week of June, I'll be visiting. Third week.
Really?
Yeah, Adam.
Really?
Yeah. I hope you took off the right week.
Me too.
Fuck's sake, I told you the dates were...
It's like 12th through the whatever, right?
Nope. What 12th through the whatever?
Yeah.
No.
Because it's the 16th through 18th that... or 14th, 14th through whatever, isn't it?
Yes. Sunday the 14th.
I think I did it right. That's like the second week. 2 weeks.
The third week. 14th is the third week. Because the first week is 1st through 7th. Second week is 7th through the 13th. Fourth week is 14th.
Yeah, I can't argue with your logic. You're correct.
Well, I'm looking at a calendar right now, so I know that it's the third week.
It didn't seem like the 14th would be like the third. I guess you're right, though. It's the third week.
It is the very beginning of the third week. One day past the second week, so it's not that crazy. But yes. Yeah, wait, so you have Fridays off, don't you?
Yeah.
So I could drive up Friday after work.
You totally could.
So I could hang out Friday and Saturday. And then you could work on... I think the idea was you were going to work on that Sunday.
Yeah, I'm working on the Sunday, then I'm taking the rest of the week off.
Maybe I'll take that Friday off, too.
Sure.
Maybe I'll take a half day. Because then I could leave at, like, noon.
Up to you.
I guess I just drive after work, though. You know what I mean?
It's not that far. It's like 3.5 hours. So.
Yeah, I just hate driving at night if I don't have to.
True that.
Not that I dislike driving at night. It's like, why drive at night when it's harder to see and
yeah,
you're going to be more bored. Mm-hmm. And people are probably worse at driving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I'll think about it.
Okay.
I hesitate to take more time off because I know we're going to be very busy at work about that time, but
yeah,
I took it off far enough ahead. My boss was like, that's fine. Yeah, we'll plan around it. Cool. So, yeah, maybe I'll just get in early on that day and leave at like 3. You know, get in at 7, good. Leave at 3, so I can get down there at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the latest.
Yeah.
But I'll probably want to stop and buy shit. I might still come down on Saturday, but I feel like it's a waste to not use up a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you have free because it's harder for you to get time off.
Yeah.
Whereas I have like I think 14 days right now.
Oh my god.
I have 80 hours.
Or
I'm sorry, 10 days. Sorry.
It's ridiculous.
80 hours. Yeah. I got time off. But anyway, so I want to talk about this because this is going to come up big at E3, and we want to start thinking about doing E3 predictions and thinking about what's coming in the future.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But I think we're going to see a face-off, literally, on your face off. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oculus Rift, Project Morpheus.
Yeah.
The HTC Vive.
All that stuff, that's probably the one we'll see the most of, because I think, well, maybe. I don't know. A lot of stuff's not coming until next year, though, right?
Early, Q1.
Is it Q1?
Yep, by April.
Maybe then.
Q1 ends. That we're going to see the Oculus Rift, which just announced, like, its whole fucking, its consumer spec is getting ready.
Yeah.
Which is nice, which is, 4 years after I believe the Kickstarter was. So it's like been a ridiculous amount of time. Was that 2012? Or was it 2013? It must have been 2013.
I think it must have been.
I'm going to look up Oculus Rift.
It's been pretty recent, I think. So.
But I mean, you know what I like about... Okay, so, I like to rag on Kickstarter. But...
I think it was 2012, because I think I remember before I even moved.
It was 2012. Holy shit.
Yeah, because before I even moved, I remember listening to stuff about it for Dev 1 stuff. Kickstarter was in that summer, I think.
I could complain about the Oculus Rift, and their delivery, except for that the great thing about the Oculus Rift Kickstarter was that if you backed, the $335,
yeah.
you got a dev kit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, and those did go out on time.
They totally did. Yeah.
So, you I guess you can. I guess the cheap one was
like $300 or something.
Was $350, yeah. And then after that, $335 was the one that you could get. For the backers, but yeah, that's pretty badass. You know what I mean? So it's like something they had, and that's the way to do it. If you're gonna make something that's like that, people may complain that they sold themselves to Facebook, but you got your dev kit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you put money in, and I don't know how anyone would have put less money in than to get an Oculus Rift. Like, I don't know why you would have backed that to get like a T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, I'm gonna back it unless I get something out of it. Not just
right.
I'm just gonna back it because I like it. It's like no, I want to get my own to fuck around with. But anyway, so I've always wanted one of these, and I was like, man, should I buy the dev kit? Don't have a PC that works now, and supposedly the dev kit 2 is really nice. But we can only assume that if the dev kits are around $300 a piece, you can assume that the consumer level is going to be $400. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're going to be between $350 and $500 for these.
That sounds about right.
Rigs. And would you get one? Are you
I would
ready?
not get one unless there were a significant amount of games for it that I was interested in.
I will definitely pick one of these up immediately. Yeah. I mean, this sounds incredible.
It does sound really cool.
Well, the nice thing about Oculus Rift, Adam, is that it's been, with the dev kit out for so long, there are a lot of games right now that work with it, you know what I mean?
Well,
Elite Dangerous supposedly works really well with it.
Yeah.
Euro Truck Simulator, all the Half-Life games. Hawkins supposedly works pretty well.
Once again,
Cars,
a lot of those are games that I don't really care to play right
Zero. Supposedly that's pretty cool. There's a lot of games that seem to have support for it right now.
Star Citizen, Oculus Rift support.
Yep, I'm sure it will.
I think it does, yeah.
So, but I believe the HTC Vive, which is very similar in a lot of ways, will probably have similar support that the Oculus Rift does, because that's kind of Valve and Steam.
Yeah,
will be pushing that. So I think that might be the one that I end up wanting to pick up.
Apparently, that one's like super, super amazing, but it requires that you put like things inside your room so it can see.
No, well, I mean, somewhat. No. That's an optional add-on thing, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You just need the way that it works is you need a camera that faces you that can track the sensors on the front of it to do the head tracking.
Oh, okay.
But it does have an accelerometer and a gyro sensor in it.
Oh,
as well. It's just an additional. Like most of the other ones have an accelerometer and a gyroscope, to do head tracking. But this one also has the laser position sensor. So I think it's just like a Wii sensor bar, I guess.
I thought you had to mount something like on the wall higher.
That's an additional thing you can get, which is
another thing.
The room simulator, basically.
Yeah.
Which is you put two of them, in a 10x10 space across from each other. So I'm moving into a new apartment, hopefully, and maybe I'll get a 3-bedroom, because there was one that looked like a really crazy deal. So I don't know, but we'll see. But I could make a holodeck.
Awesome.
That's what I want to have.
Yeah.
When I have my so they have that additional because most of these are just set at your computer with a mouse and keyboard or a joystick or a video game pad, and use the Rift or the Vive or the Vive for head tracking, so you can look in world by moving your head, which is
right.
Supposedly kind of disorienting with first person games, the way it is, but for fixed cockpit games, so you're car driving, your spaceship flying, your plane flying games, it's incredible, because you look to your left, look to your right, you can see in the cockpit, and it makes the cockpit view a lot better in games, because when you're in the cockpit view of a racing game, which is what I like to play in, but when you're in that, you kind of have a fixed eyes forward, no peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have this virtual reality headset, you just quick look, quick left, right, you can see the car next to you or beside you, or look up into the rearview mirror, which sounds incredible. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, and I'm totally going to get one of these when they come out. Provided that the price is no more than $500.
Yeah.
if we're talking $350, $400 for sure, you know what I mean. Especially if my computer is working real well. And they all seem to have very similar stats. It looks like the Rift is a little bit worse resolution wise, but I think it has a better screen.
I was gonna say I think they've gotten, even from what I heard, even since Dev 2, they've made a lot of improvements to it. So.
Supposedly the Morpheus was really good, people said, that have tried it, but it's been very little has been seen.
Right.
But I guess Sony has said we're going to see a lot more at E3, so especially since it's going to be coming out in the first half of 2016.
That almost seems like the choice for me, since I have the PS4, and I don't know how much
if that is able to connect to the PS4 and the computer, that may also be the choice for me. I guess one of the things that was about the Morpheus was that I believe it was wireless.
No, yeah.
So that seems pretty cool. Supposedly people that did play the demo said it was really neat. So I guess we'll see,
Yeah.
And I just wanted to talk about that because I don't think we talked about that before. And that's going to be a big part of our video game in the future. So I look forward to that. Adam, anything else? Talked about weeds. Talked about that. Let's talk about the article you had listed here.
Okay.
So it's like finals week, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
All right. So you wanna go through your article here? Explain this to me.
Sure. I'm trying to pull it up
I can vamp a little bit here. Be warned: the video auto plays on the website because it's a local news site, so they want that autoplay. Adam?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it loading? I'll tell a couple background
It's
things.
loading right now.
This is UC San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with the final. Interesting final.
It does.
A little bit.
A final that involves...
This is UCSD.
Nakedness.
Yes. This is an art class, of course.
Of course.
So, you have nude painting, all that kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. But what do we got?
So, a UCSD teacher has students take final in the nude.
Okay. They allow them to, Adam?
No. They are required to.
Okay.
So, well, a UC San Diego professor is reportedly requiring that his students... Huh?
Who is this person?
Associate Professor Ricardo Dominguez.
Associate Professor.
Yes.
I see.
Teaching Visual Arts 104A, Performing for the Self.
For 11 years.
For 11 years, yeah.
So I see that he doesn't have tenure. And all right.
Apparently not.
Continue.
But yeah, he's requiring that students take their final exam for his visual arts class completely in the nude.
All right.
And as a quote from him, the class that focuses on the history of the body art and performance art in relation to the question of the self or subjectivity. And so, the funny thing I find about this, several things, but this is all coming from a mother of a woman in the class who was claiming that her daughter was forced to perform nude for her final in the class or risk getting a failing grade. So, as far as I can see anywhere on here, the daughter is not complaining.
The mother is complaining.
The mother is complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "It bothers me. I'm not sending her to school for this."
Well, you're not sending her to school at all. It's college.
Right,
It's
right,
not your kid anymore.
And to blanket say that you must be naked in order to pass my class, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yes.
So, I mean, with all this going on, he did actually confirm, though, that they have to be nude to pass the final.
Yep, 100%. That's...
and
well, have to be nude to participate in the final.
Yeah. He says at the very end of class, we've done several gestures. They have to be nude. They have to do a nude gesture. The prompt is to speak about or do a gesture or create installation that says, "What is more than you are?" So we'll get a lot of art speak in here, of course.
Yeah, I just want to say this. This class sounds like the most bullshit fucking class that exists.
Okay.
Because I'm a theater minor, and I know performance art classes that are like body performance classes, and that's what this kind of sounds like.
Yeah.
But a class in which nudity is a requirement seems a bit crazy to me. I feel like that's something that, because it doesn't sound like that's what this class is about.
I thought that at first,
one
too.
section of the class.
I thought that at first, too.
Yeah.
But he says it's a standard canvas for performance art and body art, and it's all very controlled. But also, if you look in here somewhere...
Yeah.
I think it's the statement that, yes, that the chair of the Visual Arts Department, Dr. Jordan Crandall, provided.
Yep.
He provided a statement that says, "The concerns of our students are the department's first priority. I'd like to offer some contextual information that will help answer questions regarding this."
The pedagogy.
Yeah.
Great word.
Removing your clothes is not required in this class. The course is not required for graduation. So it's not required for graduation, even in like this arts field. And removing your clothes is not required for the class.
This is the dumbest fucking class I've ever heard of.
So yeah,
just read the gestures, Adam.
Okay. All the gestures, or like
just read the 3 gestures that he says here.
Okay, so it has a number of prompts for short performances called gestures. They include your life with 3D objects and 3 sounds.
Say it in an art way, man.
Okay. These include your life with 3 objects and 3 sounds, and confessional self, among others.
I would love... Okay, Adam, I'm just going to say this. What are your 3 objects and your 3 sounds? Let's say...
My life?
You're a nude human man.
Yes.
This is just the way the universe is. And you're in a white universe, and you just have 3 objects and 3 sounds. What are your 3 objects and 3 sounds?
Okay, 3 objects are probably like, computer...
Okay, yep, PC, got it.
And TV.
TV, got it.
And, like, a book that I like.
One book? What book would that be?
Wow, that's a tough one. Right now, it actually might be one of the, the King Killer Chronicles ones.
Okay.
Like those
how about the third one?
Yeah.
Just so you can get that one early.
Exactly. So I can
That's not how
know the end.
I'll get that. Let me see here.
My 3 sounds, I have no fucking idea.
You got 3 sounds. I mean, what do you got? All right. All right. Let me give you my 3 objects. What do you think about your 3 sounds?
About podcasts, probably.
Sound? No, I'm talking about sound. It's got to be an audible thing you can do.
That's an audible thing I can hear.
No,
sound?
I'm not saying like this is just 3 sounds you get. This is just 3 sounds you can make.
Oh,
yeah. You can listen to podcasts all you want on your TV and everything. Like, yeah.
All right. That'd probably be like laugh then.
So you want to have a laugh. That I didn't even think of that, Adam. That is excellent because you got to be able to laugh.
Totally.
Okay.
And maybe like laugh, cry, and
because you don't want a silent cry. You want to be able to sob.
I want to be able. I want to really let it out.
Okay.
And a sigh, like a contented sigh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wouldn't be able to do that.
That's me. Although I'd probably be snoring too, and they'd probably wouldn't be able to.
You wouldn't be able to.
Couldn't do shit about that.
That's right.
That was happening whether I wanted or not.
Yeah. All right. My 3 objects would be definitely a PC, computer. Not going to do TV. We're just going to have the PC.
Okay.
A chair.
Sure.
You're fucked, Adam. You didn't think of a chair.
I can sit on the floor. It's fine.
And a tablet.
Tablet
computer.
I probably should have picked phone.
Oh, yeah. So you can communicate with people?
Well,
what are you going to say? You're going to sigh at them?
Cry at them a lot. Just call them and start sobbing a whole bunch.
So I was thinking about 3 sounds here.
Yeah. All right.
Like a yes and a no. Well, I don't have a phone, so you know what? I can nod, shake my head. That's enough.
All right.
For yes and no questions. We can both do that. All right. I'm going with laugh. I didn't originally think of laugh, but I like laugh. All right. My other one, I want a swear word. So I can yell an exclamation just when I bump my toe or something. And, I'm trying to think of what my favorite swear word is. The F word's real good, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with shit.
Yeah.
I just shit.
It's grungy.
Love
it's
saying
got
that word.
Oh, sure.
Shit. Shit. Because I can't say anything else. I can't say, like, God damn it, or fuck shit, or, shit my balls.
Shit.
Or, yeah, I could say it like that if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, but I these are sounds, though, so they have to be the same each time.
That's true.
So I'm going to say, what shit do I want? I'm going to be like, shit. Just the basic yell.
Okay.
And
Go
the other
for the
sound,
classic.
so I got laugh, swear word, and my last sound will be, the scale. I'm gonna sing the scale.
I think that's like 7 sounds.
I know, but is it just one part of one? I can only sing it all together. I don't know, something to sing.
Okay.
Fine. Give me a good do. I'm just gonna have a do. I get all the octaves though.
Do.
You gotta give me that. Do. You just give me all the octave. I want every range.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't do that for one thing.
No, I'm saying that's what I want. To
Okay, that's fair enough.
I can use different octaves.
It's the same note. It's the same sound.
Same
I'll
note.
give you that.
No,
Octaves,
okay.
sure.
All right, fair enough. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess I could have said clothes. Whatever.
Those are some objects.
Can I just pants?
Undies would be nice.
Anyway, it might get cold. A blanket probably would have been useful. It'll be cold nights where I just have my tablet to keep myself warm.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
And no charger.
No charger. Fuck. But I'll have the computer. That's always plugged in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say the computer comes with the accoutrement of at least a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And a screen and sound.
Yeah.
And,
I would think that.
we're talking like a PC setup here.
Yeah,
like that's
totally.
Only one object,
internet
one
access.
thing. But like this is connected, and it has a USB port with a cable. I'm sure. That's how I'd set it up. I push it, try and get what I need. But anyway, Adam, what confessional self? I mean, fuck that. But among others,
Yeah. And then the final one, of course, the nude or naked self.
yes.
Students are aware from the start of the class that's a requirement. They can do the gesture in any number of ways without actually having to remove their clothes. Dominguez explains this, as does our advising team if their concerns are raised. There are many ways to perform nudity or nakedness, summoning art history conventions or of the nude, or laying bare of one's traumatic or most fragile and vulnerable self. One can, quote, be nude without being covered. While being covered, sorry.
Well, then why did this guy be like, he said that 20 students stripped down, including him?
That's an option.
He calls it a performance of a self in a dark room lit only by candlelight.
Yeah.
Adam, would you do this class?
Sure, I'd take the class.
I guess the interesting part about this class is that it isn't required.
See, that's where I came around on it. I came around because it's not required. Also, from what they're saying, it's said, like, right at the beginning, like, this is happening, so, you know, be prepared for that. And if you don't want to do that, don't take the class. You know?
Yeah, I think that's where like I thought was like, oh, this is fucking bullshit. And then I read it's like, oh, you know, ahead of time. It's not like this crept up on someone. It's like when you take this class, you know that at the end, maybe you don't have to be naked, but at least a lot of your class is going to get naked.
Yeah, and also, you don't have to be naked, really. Not like in the clothing sense. So,
yeah, I suppose.
This actually it's kind of struck home for me because, I mean, it is kind of artsy and, you know, whatever. But
did you get all nude though? You'd be okay with stripping in front of a class of 20?
I wouldn't. I would rather show my fragile self.
You're just gonna be one of the people that are gonna watch everyone else naked.
I'm cool with that.
See, I would have done this at Edgewood because Edgewood's like 70% women, so
yeah,
I like them odds for the class.
Sure.
What if I was the only guy? I feel I'd be happy, actually. Because then I would have no comparator. Or I guess the guy would be. I'd be like, hey, man, what you working with here?
Yeah.
I don't want to look. Do I got to come in pre-fluffed? What do I got to do here?
Yeah.
I can't come in. It's going to be cold in that room. I got to be prepared.
Gotta get close to the candle.
No, because then they'll see more. You're going to be in the shadows.
That's the dichotomy.
Can I bring some hand warmers?
No.
Keep those.
That's not naked.
I just gotta stay warm, you know.
Yes.
That's part of my naked self.
The only place you can stick your hands are in bodily orifices. That's all that's available.
Oh, but I could keep them in my butt.
Exactly.
In my butt crack. Could I hold a hand warmer in my butt crack?
Totally. No, you can't hide a hand warmer in your butt crack.
What if that's part of my naked self?
No.
A hand warmer?
No, that's not.
Adam.
Sorry.
Adam,
if you want to use your butt crack as a hand warmer, that's one thing.
Well, I mean, you got to think about this. If you're doing that class, you got to be like, as a guy, because like women naked all look beautiful, but guys are terribly gross looking, at least to me. Mm-hmm. You know, me not being someone who's interested in men, that's how I feel. Yeah. But you know, because I think a majority of people would say that women are much more pleasing to the eye shape-wise, maybe. More curves, less...
There's definitely something to that.
Less hair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something to the female form that's very art-friendly, you know, hence all of the female nudes being drawn constantly in history. But anyway, beyond that point, I feel like I would have to, like, I'd have to have my manscaping on point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be, like, ready, because, you know, you're gonna be all out there. And all I gotta say is, man, when it's, I gotta be prepared. Because if it's cold or anything, I gotta look impressive.
Oh yeah.
I gotta come in there ready to go. But I feel like that's a problem though as a guy, because like what? Okay, I'm gonna get a little gross here, but you're in a room full of naked women. What happens if you get a hard on?
That's part of your naked.
That's part of my naked self.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess you can cover your dick with your hands. You know what I mean? I can imagine most of the people, not during their performance. You know, probably have your hands down, covering your crotch. Everybody, you know, just that's what you do.
Yeah.
Because you know, that's just where your hands would naturally rest. You know.
Yeah.
For me, I would just, you know, arms on top of my head, arched back, just stretching the whole time, trying to get the best angles.
Totally.
No, but what were you saying? Sorry.
What
if your teacher got a hard on?
That'd be more awkward, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I have all the guys just hide behind like a short fence? And the women can too.
I think you're missing the point. I think you're missing the point of being naked.
I guess
it's revealing yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I would do the naked part.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. But I think classes
unless
like this,
somebody fatter than me did it, then I'd be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you're like, you know what? I'm not the worst looking person here now.
Yeah.
So fuck you. I'm whipping it all out. But then that guy has like a fucking 10-inch fucking schlong, and I'm like, great.
Yeah.
He may be bigger than me, but he's packing more heat. That's more impressive to the ladies, because we all know women are only interested in penis size.
Yeah.
If I've learned anything,
if you've learned anything,
a girl cares about.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, the first thing they ask you in the bar is a number. I'm like 5, 6, 7. And you're like 5, and they're like, well, it's not a 4.
Yeah,
I mean, looking for a 7.
They forget phone number. Send me dick pic. That's all it is.
That's true. That's true. It's all dick pics.
That's it. That's all I want.
The nice thing about a dick pic, though, is you can work the angle.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
work the lighting.
Oh yeah. Totally.
You know, you can work the hardness factor just to the perfect amount to get the
powder.
I feel like you've got the ability to fluff it.
Totally.
Make it. It's like self-photoshopping. You know. That's whatever trick of the light
and actual photoshopping,
and then have a tiny Coke can that you can have next to it.
Yeah.
Like get some miniature furniture or something.
Yeah.
I feel like you can work. I feel like you can work that. You know,
just like a giant, like all respects though.
Just like a tiny, like have your dick in like a dollhouse. Just like pointing through like the doorway.
Yeah.
Like baby.
There's probably a website for that somewhere.
Oh my god, no. I just thought about Rule 34 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a fucking fetish that is having sex with dollhouses.
Oh, there's gotta be.
Just put a fucking fleshlight in the doorway.
Yeah.
And just go to town on that house.
What a lovely foyer you have.
I'm looking that up. Google searching. Maybe I've come up
braver
with
man than I. But one of the things that really got me about this is
I do not see searching having sex with dollhouse.
Yeah. Nothing
comes in.
Really?
No, we're talking about the Dollhouse TV show and like sex that happens in that show.
Sure.
Yeah, it's all Dollhouse TV series reviews.
Okay.
Wow. All right. So that
you may have just invented a new fetish.
Let me check out images, though. I gotta check the Okay, there's a lot of sexy photos of Alicia Dushku.
Yeah.
And some dollhouse photos of dollhouses.
Okay.
But no, like, sexy dollhouse. With, like, some nice big bay windows.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Look at the bay windows on that ranch.
Look at the windows on that tree.
That old Victorian.
Anyway.
No, this kind of struck a chord with me, though.
I fucking hate colleges sometimes.
Because
what kind of bullshit class is this?
No, I think you need bullshit classes like this. Like this is.
Well, this class isn't even apparently required for any major.
No, but I mean, like, this is the kind of shit that, like, as a college student, you should do.
You should do. I guess you're right.
Like, this is the kind of thing, and I also, as somebody
I'm trying to think of what my weird class was that I took.
As somebody who works at a college,
yeah,
I'm just going to say that
sometimes you need a levity in your college career.
Well, yeah, but also, my point is going to be that helicopter parents are the worst. And this article screams of helicopter parent.
Uh-huh.
And, oh my god, they are the worst. I deal with them on a regular basis, and I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
So, this hit me on a bunch of places where I was like, oh god. Okay, helicopter parent.
Just like reacting. I thought maybe the kid was like scoffing at it, but the article just reads, the kid explained to her mom what one of her class finals was, and she flipped the shit out.
So, I don't know.
Weird.
Just, something I found interesting as somebody who works in the collegiate field. I think, God bless them. The world needs classes like this.
Yeah.
Bullshit, weird art classes that...
I agree.
Yeah.
Can we talk about a couple more things here?
Yeah.
Because we're burning through the midnight hour here.
We certainly are.
Let's see here. So we talked about your story. We actually got an Adam story. It's incredible.
Yeah, and also one of these I was actually going to submit it until I saw you already had it.
Which was that?
That was the Simpsons one, actually.
All right, yes. So let's go to that. That is actually the next one I was going to talk about. So Harry Shearer is leaving The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He has long been the most vocally unhappy of the voice actors of The Simpsons. He's had quite a bit of, I don't know, I guess issues with... I don't understand. He's had issues with the show, I guess. Yeah. And the pay. But he is 71. So I don't know what else he's going off to do, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, Harry Shearer's voice of Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Reverend Lovejoy, Principal Seymour Skinner, some of your favorite characters.
Yeah.
Not mine. What's your favorite non-Simpson family character on The Simpsons?
Probably
this
Willie.
Should be a quick answer. You got to know what you like here. Willie.
Probably Willie.
Yeah, for me, I'm an Azaria guy as well.
I was also considering Sideshow Bob, but he is not on often enough, really, I think, to pay off much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so outside the family, I'd probably say Willie.
For me, Mo Sizlak, immediately.
Mo.
No question.
Mo is
my favorite.
Mo's a little too depressing for me, I think.
Because... See, Misery Vampire, so...
Yeah, I guess so.
I like Lenny as well, for some of the similar reasons. Shearer also voices Smithers.
Yep.
Kent Brockman. Rainier Wolfcastle. Scratchy, from Itchy and Scratchy. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. He, I guess the show... Oh boy. Al Jean said that the characters that he portrays are not going to be killed off or disappear, but they'll be turned over to the most talented members of the voiceover community.
Yeah.
So we're getting sound-alikes.
Yep.
Oh boy. They got 2 more seasons renewed, of course, and show's producers are having trouble reaching terms with all the voice cast. So he's the first of maybe more than he may not be the only one that doesn't come back, but he's definitely the first to leave. I guess Shearer is working on a film that he was having issues, I guess, scheduling-wise with the show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, because the article I saw was actually another one. It was talking with Al Jean, who was talking about him leaving, and he was just like, I don't know why. Like, his money is... He hasn't complained about money. He hasn't, we give people all the time they need for stuff. He said it doesn't want to take up that much time.
Oh, I know. It sounds like their voice acting appointments are very quick and easy.
Like Al Jean was like, I really wish he'd give James L. Brooks a call and let us know if
maybe they will
do.
Figure something out. I mean, it definitely isn't probably dead at this point. I just think maybe that they had some issues coming to terms and maybe they can figure it out. But who fucking knows? I mean, I haven't really watched The Simpsons a lot lately.
I haven't watched it probably in at least maybe a decade and a half. Like 15 years.
Oh, I don't think that long. Maybe, though.
It's been,
some of the early 2000 seasons have some memorable stuff.
Let me put it this way. I probably stopped watching it
after high school?
After high school. So
yeah, fair enough.
Like 12,
so 2003.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I still watch it when it's on TV sometimes, and some of it's good. I mean, it still has some fun stuff, but it's definitely not the same show.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean,
the show before was every episode's incredible.
I don't think it's a bad show. I just kind of think that, like, I don't know, I've just seen so much stuff in that universe. I kind of feel
it's true. It's so full.
It's so full, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't really go too much outside of their universe in that show.
Comedy's kind of moved a lot, in the 30 years they've been on TV, too.
And it's not like Family Guy is very similar, but it goes way crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking time traveling, like, just crazy shit happens in Family Guy. They keeps the action original, whereas The Simpsons is very much a family sitcom base.
Right.
With weird stuff that happens, whereas the Family Guy isn't really 100% a family show, about the family. It's much more people breaking off doing their own things.
It's so weird to think that, like, in the early 90s, like, The Simpsons was the don't let your kids watch The Simpsons.
I know, right?
They say damn, and they
say hell.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that either, because that show is so tame.
Bart's a terrible example for children.
No. He's a fucking ludicrous, like, caricature of a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so that happened. That's kind of sad. I guess we'll see where that ends up going.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a billion articles about, did that sound like be okay? You know, like...
Yeah. I mean, all in all, they've, replaced, like, a lot of the Disney characters a couple times over and stuff, and...
Yeah, good voice actors are fucking good voice actors.
They're good, yeah. So, I mean, I may not even notice difference, but it kind of feels to me like this is the end of an era where
I
it's
don't
like...
think that Harry
why
Shearer
even
was
bother
expecting them to get 2 more years.
Yeah. I mean, but at this point, why even keep going? Like... I mean, I guess if they're still doing well in their slot and they're still making money, then sure. But
that was the case, I believe. I believe Fox was definitely okay to bring them back without really raising any of their salaries. Let's do more at the same price because it's doing.
I don't know.
Same
it just seems kind of at a certain point, though. I don't know. But, I mean, maybe I'm denying a whole another generation of younger kids who can watch this with their parents and still enjoy it. I don't know. Obviously, that must still be the case. That somebody's watching it, so. And yeah, I think The Simpsons have had by far some of the funniest episodes of any show ever.
Well, let's just say The Simpsons earlier this year hit an all-time low in viewership.
Yeah.
Of 3.4 million.
That seems pretty low.
Which is still huge.
Yeah, it's
considering a lot of your
sitcoms, yeah, but Sunday night primetime, that's pretty low.
Well, when it's competing against football at that time, playoffs in early January,
I guess
I can see it being difficult to compete, but it's tough. But I think that 3.5 million is an insane amount of people compared to The Office had just over 1 million during its final year. I mean, like, it's tough, to get numbers on TV now. And 3.5
was Office like Sunday evening though? Like, that's a good slot.
It is a good slot.
Sunday night primetime is about as good as you can get.
But I mean, I think if you compare it to other shows from that time slot, it's probably similar.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I'm so far past it that I wonder why it's still on. But like I said, there's probably still like kids nowadays too who think it's hilarious. So
yeah,
and can watch it with their families on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
It's always had a good mix of humor that kind of, both adults and kids will get.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Let me check a Sunday cable ratings. Sunday final ratings. Here we go. The Simpsons. Ooh. Well, maybe it was a rerun. 1.4 this week. I don't know if it's still airing.
Yeah, it should be. It should be pretty. It should be pretty close to the season finale. But
oh yeah, that 7 o'clock Simpsons is a rerun. Sorry, 8 o'clock Simpsons is 3 million.
Oh, okay, that's a new one.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a little bit less. CBS The Good Wife with 9 million.
Dude, I've heard nothing but good things about The Good Wife.
Yeah,
I should start watching that probably.
And then the late night shows are all like, I mean, we're talking the highs being on CBS here with 60 Minutes at 9 million.
I would have thought like 7 million would be something more they'd be aiming for, but like,
yeah, it seems like the average across the whole night is probably around 3, so it's not underperforming. It's on the low side of the average.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's not crazy bad.
Not a grand slam.
There's
but
NBC who's airing, fucking. American Odyssey is 2.69. You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing too is like, unless you have something that'll do better, why would you replace it? I mean,
and I guess the key rating share for 18 to 49, which is big with TV.
Yeah.
Is the family or The Simpsons is 1.2.
Oh, okay.
Out of which is pretty high.
Yeah,
actually,
that is definitely high
compared to some of these other shows. The highest being Once Upon a Time with the 1.8. But it was also the season finale, so it probably had a big viewership there. As well as America's Funniest Home Videos at 1.4. So it's,
oh my god.
So 1.2 is not bad. So they're pulling in high in the demographic they're looking for. So it's not like the show's doing bad. Apparently everyone's saying that Simpsons is it's also apparently led to the success of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which immediately follows it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit of the it's a big, they like it. It's a nice solid chunk of their Sunday night lineup. So they weren't gonna throw it off the bus just yet. And I've watched the recent season, and there have been some bad episodes, but there's some legitimate funny stuff happening. So I don't know. It's weird. The show is definitely not as even as it was before.
Yeah.
Where you'll get an episode that's kind of like a stinker, but then you'll have an episode that actually is legitimately really funny. And,
I'm actually just really surprised that more people haven't left.
Well, considering I believe when the show was at its peak, it was probably at those 9-10 million numbers.
Yeah, but I mean,
so you lost a good fifth of your viewer, or 4/5 of your viewership.
I just mean that, like, out of pure artistic boredom for doing a show for like 25 years.
Oh, more of the cast.
Yeah, that more of the cast.
Yeah, there's been no cast that's left other than I believe Pamela Hayden, who did the voice of Maude, left, and then has come back since. FYI.
Oh, really?
She left over some weird contract dispute that was completely bullshit.
Huh.
She just kind of like walked, and then they were like, okay. And they had someone else do a voice alike for a little while, and then they killed off Maude.
Yeah.
And then because they were like, it was some weird issue with her, and they were like, she wanted to move far away from LA.
Yeah.
And they were like, but we'll do an ISDN. We'll let you record, over the internet. You know what I mean? Like we'll give you a studio in your local town that you can record at. You know what I mean? You don't even have to fly out to LA. Like they were just like being there. She was like, no. And then now, of course, she's back for the paycheck. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because she does a couple other minor characters too. So it was just weird. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why walk? Like.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know how anyone would walk from a job like that.
I guess. I don't know. 25 years of doing anything is a long time.
But 25 years of being, like, one of the most beloved and revered characters? I don't know. Like...
That's true.
I feel like it would be tough, especially with those voice acting. And having done voice acting,
it's
how
fun.
Not difficult it is and fun it is to do.
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting in a room or standing in front of a microphone with a music stand with your lines and just... and oftentimes being in a room with other people and just playing off each other is real fun.
Yeah.
And I could see someone being tired and wanting to do other things, but it sounds like The Simpsons have been super, forgiving with their scheduling for these people. So it's like, come on now. Like, it's not like you're forced to do this. I think he just was tired. I mean, 71, Harry Shearer.
Right.
And also, he's kind of a huge asshole, so...
Yeah.
He's a historic asshole. Let's see here. Wait. Oh, okay. Well, okay. We got another update here, Adam, and it kind of agrees with this, what we were just saying.
Oh, yeah?
For all of the Simpsons fans concerned that Mr. Bourne's voiced by Harry Shearer spent his last days in Springfield, the voice actor has 2 words for you. Stay tuned. Sounds like he's talked with someone. Sounds like apparently he talked with... Yeah, here we go. Shearer has no other comment other than the reference a tweet from James L. Brooks saying, hey, we tried, we're still trying, Harry. No kidding, let's talk.
Yeah.
So apparently they're still talking. So Harry Shearer may have preemptively voiced his leaving... before.
Well, it might have been part of his plan to make a big story out of it.
I could see it being difficult for him to leave, because he's, I don't know. He's an interesting character. He's interesting cat, but hopefully it works out because it'd be really awesome for him to continue with The Simpsons. So we don't really know, actually, what's going on right now, I guess. We'll see. He announced he was leaving, but it doesn't mean that they aren't going to try and get him back.
Yeah.
So he walked.
I hope they can work it all out.
I'm sure they will. It seems like his issue was this movie coming out, and maybe they weren't originally giving him enough time.
Oh, okay.
But maybe they can work out some sort of, hey, we'll fly out to you to record this. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even have to come into the studio. Let's get this taken care of because you're, Fucking Mr. Burns, man.
Yeah.
That's a pretty iconic character.
That's a big character, yeah.
All right. Let's do one more thing here before we end the show. Let's talk about... All right. I'm gonna hold off on the Mad Max stuff.
Oh,
I do want to see that movie.
I do, too.
It looks incredible.
Yeah. I've heard good things.
But let's talk about a movie I watched.
Okay.
What We Do in Shadows.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. I
loved this movie. I would give this a 5 out of 5.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, 5 out of 5. Okay. Absolutely. It's either a 4 or a 5. It's kind of tough. I'm just going to say 5. Maybe I'll walk back. But yeah, they had a Kickstarter for this. I remember being kind of infuriated at the Kickstarter existence because the movie had already been made. But they wanted a Kickstarter for the American release, of which they got $500,000. Yeah. Which seemed a bit weird for me. I don't know.
Distribution costs, man. Indie movie.
I guess. I guess the thing I disliked about it was that they didn't have a version of the movie that you were getting for any of the backer rewards.
Oh yeah.
The $50 rewards was the DVD, which seemed high.
It's a pricey DVD.
Yeah, the $20 reward was you get the original short and a script copy in PDF format. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay. The $30 got you an online screening. It's like, okay. Anyway, I don't know. That's weird. I thought it was a bit much.
So how did you actually come across this movie?
Oh, I just rented it on Amazon.
It's on Amazon? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I'll buy it when it comes out. It's not difficult for movies to get online sales. I don't know why. They wanted the distribution to be in theaters, I guess, in Madison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or in not Madison. It did. I believe it aired in Madison, but they wanted it to I guess, theater distribution. I don't know. Thought it was a bit too much for me because I was like, I'm going to see it because it's out in other countries and it's going to come to the U.S. But so let me get a plot synopsis of this movie. So it's kind of a mockumentary. It was filmed in 2014 New Zealand. It's kind of like a found footage horror comedy.
Yeah.
And
I know Jermaine is in it.
Yeah. You got 4 vampires. You have Viago, Vladislav, who is played by Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. And Viago is played by Taika Waititi, who I believe also helped create Flight of the Conchords.
Okay.
With Jermaine and what's his name? Britt. And Deacon and Peter are 4 vampires that share a flat in a Wellington suburb. And it's kind of like the daily lives of a 21st century vampire.
Yeah.
They kind of just prowl the streets at night, trying to get in clubs, and of course they have a difficult time getting in because they have to be invited into the club.
Oh, right.
To enter it. There's a couple scenes where just say that we can come in. It's like, no, just if you want to go in, you can enter, but I'm not going to invite you in. It's just like, oh, like just say please come in. Nope. Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. So they end up having some fun, and then they kind of have a situation where the deacon has a human servant, I guess. Like some vampires have their human lackey,
a thrall kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they call him my master. He runs errands, and the errands are using a blow vac on their front lawn to blow the leaves off, and just bullshit. Yeah. And she's got the promise of being able to be made into a vampire someday, but it's been 6 years. No, nothing's moved, and she's always kind of pushing for it. And, she brings her ex-boyfriend and some other girl over, and then they kind of do their whole vampire house scare with 2 people, and they end up eating them, and it's just funny, they have roommate disputes over, cleaning and doing the dishes, and for instance, hey, you ate someone in our, living room, and you got blood all over the couch. If you're going to eat someone, put some newspapers down at least, or some blankets or towels.
Yeah.
which is pretty funny. But it's really interesting. And then one of the two people ran away and was attacked by Peter, who's kind of like he's 8,000. Mm-hmm. So he's like the Nosferatu style vampire. They keep in like a crypt in the basement, but he got out and attacked this guy. And it turns out this 20-year-old guy was turned into a vampire. So he's kind of a new guy, and he's learning how to fly and all the weird things. And then, the plot continues with that, and they invite their friend, Stu, who's not a vampire, but he's pretty cool. He's a human, but he's cool. And he shows them how to use computers and stuff because they're super old.
Okay.
Viago's 379, Vladislav's 900. The young one, Deacon, is only 183. But anyway, so it's really cool. I actually really loved this movie.
I'll have to check it out. Sounds good.
The budget's pretty low. It's $1.6 million, but there's some really good special effects in it, I thought, for them kind of transforming. Mm-hmm. For instance, Vladislav is a vampire who can change into any animal, but he's old, so he's gotten worse, and he just doesn't get the faces right. So, at one point, he transforms into like a cat, and it's just a cat with his face, and it looks ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, but then they also kind of, are walking around the city, and they roll up on a group of werewolves. They're hanging out. Right. And the werewolves are led by the alpha dog, which is Rice Darby. You may remember from Flight of the Conchords.
Yes. Murray.
Yeah, it's incredible. I would highly recommend a rental of this. It's on Amazon. It's $5 for the HD rental. I'm definitely going to give that a 5 out of 5.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's interesting. I would agree with some of the reviews that some of the moments where it's trying to be, I guess, like it says, some of the film's broader moments fall flat, but it's just such amazing with mockumentary style, because it's just some of the mundanity in the vampire life that they get across is just really funny.
Okay.
Just like, waking up in a casket or sleeping in a closet upside down, just real weird.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I would say that it's great.
Cool.
I would say it's great. It's definitely worth watching, and really fun, and a good cast, and highly recommended. Made me want to be a vampire. I was like, if being a vampire means hanging out with these guys, every night, trolling the city, bringing a girl home. Like, Viago talks about how, like, when he brings a girl home, he wants to make her, make a night out of it. It's her last night.
Yeah.
So, you want it to be nice, and there's an interesting, they just kind of sit on him talking with this girl, and he's, plays her, like, the mandolin, and they have, like, candlelight and wine, and they're having a good night in the chat. And he's like, oh, what do you think you're going to do after you graduate from college? And she's like, oh, I'd love to travel the world. I've never been anywhere. And all this stuff. He's like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And while he's talking to her, he's setting newspapers down on the floor, which they had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, thanks. And then he, like, pulls her thing back. And he's like, well, now it's time for this. And he's just like, it's just very polite. He bites her and kills her. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Just the idea of the show is real cool.
Nice.
And, they talk about how they like to, it's like, I don't know, why vampires like virgins. I just think because it sounds cool. There's, like, a point where they get a computer hooked up in their apartment, their house, their flat, and they're like, can we look up pictures of virgins? They like, click on it, and they're like, I don't think she's a virgin if she's doing that. And just some of the ridiculousness of these, heavily recommended.
Okay.
Real fun.
Cool.
That's it. I would definitely recommend it.
Nice.
And it has a nice, fun ending. It's really good.
Good.
Recommended. What We Do in Shadows. Adam?
Yeah.
Werewolf, vampire. Which one would you rather be? I'm going to tell you the fiction from this movie.
Okay.
So in this movie, vampires, they got to be invited in. Mm-hmm. Can't go out in the daylight. Daylight sets them on fire. Not immediately, but pretty bad. Like,
okay.
It shows up in the movie at one point. Mm-hmm. and it's pretty fast, so you don't want to be near that. There are vampire hunters that are in the world.
Okay.
They bump into one at one point. So you can't go out during the day. It's real bad. It's not like Buffy, Vampire Slayer, Angel rules, or Twilight, where it's like, oh, it's painful, and if I stood out here long enough, I'd really get burned, but not Let's see, what else? Gotta drink blood, but it didn't seem like they had to drink blood to survive. It wasn't like every night have to feed,
right?
Kind of just this is what we go out and do, and it kind of felt like like a group of guys trying to go out and get laid. It happens maybe every once in a while, once a week, maybe less. Yeah. But when it does, it's good. So, and they share, of course. And they have their thralls bringing them people. Mm-hmm. But there's werewolves as well, and they don't 100% get along, but they don't really fight. It's more like two groups of bros. Sure. Like, hey, you stay away from our turf. Kind of. But all your typical vampire stuff. Garlic's bad. Cross is bad. Stake through the heart kills you. Mm-hmm. What else kills you? That's it. Those are the basics. Okay. Silver. Touching silver's bad for vampires. I don't know. Sure. Pretty basic. No picture in the mirror. Yep. So when you're going out at night, you can't see what you look like. So in the movie, they are painting pictures of themselves to show each other what they look like before they go out. I think that was pretty funny. So that's cool. I liked it. And then the werewolves are, if you get enraged, you turn into a werewolf. Mm-hmm. But on the night of the full moon, you're just a werewolf all night, basically. Yeah. It looked like they could control it, count to 10, human again, they said. Mm-hmm. So if you could calm yourself down, you wouldn't turn. You tend to hang out in a group. So, okay. Protected in the group. Like, for instance, when that was full moon, Rice Darby had them all. It's like, make sure you're wearing your Trek pants, because that way you won't break your pants, and and then chain yourself up to a tree so you don't hurt anyone, So, sounded like they were trying to keep themselves safe. Yeah. So, which one, man? Vampire or werewolf?
I think I would probably go with werewolf just because I wouldn't have to murder people.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't have to. And then 99% of the time, you're a regular person. Yeah. Just in moments of extreme anger, you can turn, but you can learn how to calm yourself down. Mm-hmm. And then one night a month, you got to be, chained up somewhere. Yeah. That's not too bad.
Totally not.
But vampires is just a full lifestyle. Although vampires seem fun because, you get to just kind of hang out in bars and stuff, bring people home, eat. Yeah. I don't know. You can fly. Vampires can fly in this. Yeah. Both in bat and human form.
And fly. Long lifespan.
And infinite lifespan.
Yeah. Presumably.
Practically infinite. I mean, one of them's 8,000, so. Right. I don't know. It seemed kind of fun. I think werewolf's the way to go, though. Yeah. Because you're not a different person. You're just a person who can lose control, Yeah. Whereas when you're a vampire, you're always a vampire.
You gotta do the vampire thing.
Can't eat food anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Man,
you can only drink blood. You eat food, it's bad for you. In this, it's shown that if you eat real food, makes you real sick. Like vomit sick. So, gotta only drink blood. That's a downer. Okay, so that's it. That's my thoughts. Cool. Vampires. Adam, anything else?
I think that's it.
What we do in shadows.
Doing shadows, okay.
What we do in the shadows, sorry. But you can check that out on Amazon. Also, you can always check our podcast out. Yeah. BornInThe80s.net. Yeah. For all sorts of cool stuff there. You can subscribe on iTunes if you like the show. Give us a good rating. Tell your friends to listen if they're wanting to listen to a podcast about nothing.
Email us at bitecast@gmail.com.
Bitecast@gmail.com, or leave a comment. That's probably the best way to get to us. Yeah. I don't think I've checked that Bitecast email in ages.
Oh, awesome.
Well, nobody emails that one.
Not often.
That's not the one that we promote as much. Yeah. Oh, God, never mind. There's an email. Jesus. Got a bunch of them. All right, this is from Breton, who's a longtime listener of the show. This is from March 25th. Jesus. I hope you still listen. Oh, God. Oh, no. Read this book after your recommendation. Great read. Two quick things. They just announced the Ready Player One movie.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Is there someone else you'd like to see directing this? No. Spielberg is perfect.
I think so, too.
I agree. Especially since he took part in a lot of the movies and things that get referenced. That time period. He said he furnished the first 2 books of the Red Rising series. Did you speak about that series? Red Rising?
The Dark is Rising, maybe?
Red Rising. I'm looking at it.
Red Rising?
Any other series you recommend? Well, the King Killer Chronicles, I think we've recommended that to death. But you also said Black Company has been great.
Black Company?
Red Rising.
Those are the ones I've recommended.
I don't remember recommending this. What is this? Book 1 of Red Rising? Darrow? I don't remember recommending this at all. Did you recommend it? You must have recommended it.
I never heard of the Red Rising, I don't think.
Mining Colony on Mars?
Not me.
Wow. Breton, are you listening to another podcast and conflating our recommendations?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll take that as a listener recommendation. And looking at the book on Amazon, it has like a 5-star rating.
Oh, cool.
Looks like quite a few. A New York Times bestseller, named one of the best books of the year by Entertainment Weekly. Okay. Red Rising trilogy. All right, let's look into that. I guess that came out last year, 2014.
I got some more audio credits coming up. Maybe I'll see if I can get an audio version.
It says, look beyond the inevitable comparison to The Hunger Games. Red Rising is the first book of a gritty, complex trilogy, blazes its own trail. On desolate Mars, the protagonist Darrow is caught in a class system that thrives on oppression and secrecy. He is a Red, lowest member of society, born to toil in the bowels of the planet. Probably someone born on Mars is a Red. Darrow suffers a devastating loss and betrayal when he becomes a revolutionary, taking on a dangerous role, attempt to bring about social justice.
It does sound a lot like Hunger Games.
Yeah. But it also takes place in space. That sounds kind of awesome.
True that.
It says there's a definite YA hook, but it isn't as much of a YA book as The Hunger Games. Oh, all right. But it is for all ages, supposedly. I don't know. 400 pages, so it's not super short.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds cool, though. Thanks for the recommendation. We'll read that. You said Black Company you recommend? And,
Black Company books by Glenn Cook. And, of course, King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss.
I feel like I haven't talked about this, but I have been reading Piers Anthony books.
I'm not sure who that is.
So he's an Englishman who moved to Florida, but he wrote the Xanth, Magical Kingdom of Xanth series. Sounds
familiar, but I don't think I've read it.
So these are kind of classic fantasy books. It takes place in Mundania, which is basically looks like Florida. And the main character is Bink, who basically lives in kind of a magical society where he's facing exile from the magical land of Xanth and separation from his fiancée for not having a magic talent. So everyone who's born has a magic talent.
Oh, he's magicless.
And so, or he doesn't know what his magic talent is because everyone's magic talent is crazy. So some people have relatively useless, like my magic talent is to make a spot appear on the wall, at will. Or like the current king, his ability is to control storms. So, people that have very incredibly powerful magic talents end up being, better in society. And people, that have the mundane, dumb ones. But you still have, but to be part of the Magic Kingdom, you have to be a magical person.
It's like magical X-Men. Like a mutant.
Yeah, exactly. Some people have really weird magical abilities.
Okay.
Some people have real ones. But anyway, he kind of goes on a trip through a real, very richly old school fantasy, forest of danger to get to, this castle, where this ultimate magician who is able to discern what everyone's magical talent is. Yeah. Humphrey, this magician, and he goes to this guy and he is able to determine you do have magician caliber, which is the high tier of magic, but he's prevented from knowing more about it. It's very odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he decides to leave well enough alone, saying, "I don't want to mess with this." But he has a signed note saying he does have magic, but it's something weird. So anyway, it just goes on kind of a long trip, and there's evil illusionists, and it's kind of like a trip of kind of a coming of age, like young guy traveling, and he's gonna get. I don't know. It's really interesting. I really like it. It's very richly written, deep fantasy. That's it, I guess.
That reminds me of a series that I read. Not quite like that, but that I liked a ton as like a youth. That was kind of like a coming of age type thing. I think it's called the Prydain Chronicles or something like that. Or it starts out with the Book of Three, then the Black Cauldron, which was made into a Disney movie at some point, and changed a bit when it was, and so there's like 5 of them. And they are awesome. You should read those too. Lloyd Alexander is the author.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting plot though with this because one of the main things is that he's traveling, but he's also engaged, and he's trying to figure out what he wants in life. He meets a lot of interesting women, from the extremely beautiful to the extremely stupid, or average, or ugly, or intelligent. He meets an illusory woman who's some crazy evil sorceress, who's trying to seduce him, and seems to be everything he wants. But he realizes it's an illusion. It's not enough. And he comes to realize, through his travels, exactly what he wants. And somebody who values himself for who he is. It's just kind of it's an interesting story. And I love it. And it's one of like 30 books in a series. So,
wow. Okay.
I bought a bunch of the paperbacks a while ago. I recommend that series. It's real fun. Real different. Real different, because it's written in the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's very much a high fantasy, high magic, very like, I fought a dragon, and it chased me around, and I don't really have any magic, and we, hid in a thing. I don't know. Thinking back, it is rich, and I loved it. Now, I kind of wish I would have kept going. I read the first book and part of the second one, and I just kind of stopped, and I have it sitting next to my desk, and I just kind of paused, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to read the next one.
You know what I wish there was?
Yep.
A Netflix of books.
Audiobooks?
Not audiobooks, just books.
They have that.
Do they?
Amazon. Yep.
No.
Yep.
They have like a lending library type thing where they just send
it is called Amazon. Let me look up.
I'm not talking about digital books.
Oh. Well, I
mean actual books.
What? Oh, like have them sent out?
Yes. Because I for some reason I don't really like reading books on a screen.
Amazon has Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
Like Slaughterhouse-5, Kurt Vonnegut. It's just lots and lots of books. All of the Suzanne Collins series, a lot of editors' picks.
I want like a library that will just like send you a book in the mail while you read it, and then you turn it back in, and you get your next book or whatever. That's what I want, because I don't like I like audiobooks. I like listening to them.
Yeah,
but sometimes just want to read a book, and I don't want to read it on a screen. I just want an actual book that I can flip through.
I get that. I really do like reading books on a Kindle, though.
Yeah, I think part of it is that I don't have like a pad type device. I have my phone, or I have my basically TV.
Well, you can get yourself a Kindle Paperwhite for $120, or you can get a regular Kindle.
I kind of want to set up an actual iPad at some point, though.
I would suggest that too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it'd be awesome though if there was a service like that. It probably wouldn't succeed because I doubt anybody.
I really do like my Fire HD 7-inch.
Yeah,
I have that I got for I think $100 during the Christmas sale. Because now I have 2 tablets, of course, but the little one is really conducive for book reading because single-handed,
Yeah.
Whereas the big tablet really doesn't. You can't really hold in one hand for very long. So I like that for reading books, and I find that I don't mind reading the screen as much as some people might say. I just got used to it, I guess.
It's just kind of harsh on my eyes because usually it's pretty white. The white glare gets
I
would
say. I don't know. I guess I never thought I had that problem.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you started using it, you would get used to it. I don't know. I think that
maybe. I mean, I read stuff on screens all day.
There's
day
a
long
lot of
that's
interesting
stuff, so.
a lot of interesting settings you can set up on these things. Like what I like to read on mine is you can turn the brightness all the way down, which is really nice. And then I like a sepia tone because you can do a sepia tone with a dark lettering.
Right.
And choose your font size, and
that
it has
might
a lot of
make
settings.
Things a lot easier.
You can also do black screen with white text, which I've used, and I think that also is nice too. That's how I actually read that. I'm sorry, the book that I was trying to recommend here. I didn't even say the fucking name. It's called A Spell for Chameleon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's I believe that the story comes to him getting the returning to the village. But he is exiled anyway, and he finds someone else that was exiled. And she doesn't have any magic, but he tries to find magic for her, basically. So it's called A Spell for Chameleon, and it's really good. Highly recommended.
Sweet.
Yeah, just reminded me of a lot of that high fantasy, kind of like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
A little bit lighter, but really interesting, crazy things going on in the world.
Right.
And the kind of the story of Xanth is... it seems to take place on like Earth, but where the magic people invaded Mundania, which just seems to be Earth basically, and it seems like the way that it's written is that outside of the magical kingdom of Xanth is just regular the world, and they don't know about the kingdom because it's shielded.
So it's like
invisible.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that, but 1977. So.
Sure.
Predates.
Well, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it seems like kind of a really cool concept. I've only read the first book and a half, so I need to get more into that. But if you want to get into a good series, I'd recommend that highly.
Yeah.
But thanks for emailing in. I'm sorry that I didn't get back for let's say, it's less than 2 months. So, but I could go through these emails, and we've got Matt Hagg sent obviously a hacked email with a weird link. We've got Women's Fastball. Donation was made to you. Please email this. Mr. Pedro says. Tom Fisher says, charity work for you if reply for details. Okay. SMO site. Hello, Monica. We are an internet marketing company based in India. Make your website visible on search engines. Improve your business. Want more clients? There's no links to this.
Yeah.
Literally is just Monica at hotmail.com. Sounds like she works in a real good company. That is it. I think.
Yeah.
Do I want to say anything else? I think we're going to call it there. Thanks for emailing us, Breton. Give you a shout out. There's a Patreon.
Yeah,
I made a Patreon. That's kind of a Patreon works where you donate your funds to us via kind of I guess the way I have ours set up is when an episode is released, a payment will go through automatically. Okay. So you can set your donation amount to whatever you want. $1 an episode. You can set it to 25 cents an episode.
Also, they have settings too, where you can set a maximum to make sure it's not like.
Oh wait, no.
I
have mine not set to that. I'm so sorry. Yeah. That's one way to set it. No, I have mine set to monthly.
Yeah.
Because we release 3 to 4 episodes a month.
Yeah.
And of course, I can always turn it off. So if there's a month where I know we're going to miss some episodes because of traveler conflicts, I can shut that month's auto donate off for you guys. So, if you're interested in that, any amount. I don't really care if we get any money for this because this is my hobby, and monthly the cost is less than $30 for me, total basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's probably $30-$40 to host this and the site. So it's not a huge expense for me, but it's something that if you guys wanted to help out, an easy way would be Patreon. Just donate $1, a month. That's easy. Keeps the show, helps me out. Helps me pay the hosting. That's really my goal. I think the top goal I have is $40 a month or $50 a month,
something like that. Yeah.
We get to that, then it's basically paying for itself, and that's incredible. So Feel free to
there's
check
some
that
goals
out.
there, too.
There are some goals. So, yeah, if we do get donation money, we'll start doing stuff like that. Maybe we can come up with some basic stuff with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Possibly you and I could come up with some, maybe a teaser for each one of those segments. Do one.
Mayhap.
Yeah, let's get that planned out in the next few weeks. So,
sure.
But let me get the exact website for that. It's just patreon.com/bornintheeighties. I'll have a Patreon link in the episode. Let me see here. Patreon link. I'm going to write that down so you can just check the show page at bornintheeighties.net. Stay tuned for abbreviated wrestling segment.
Yep.
All right, we're back for wrestling news. That's my new one.
That's a good one. I like that,
that one? It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so Raw, SmackDown this week. I don't know. Kept it. I don't know. They kind of had their stories locked in for Payback, and they kind of continue to. We really haven't. Nothing's really moved from last week. It's still Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose, and Orton. Ambrose kind of teased a little bit of a heel turn, a little tease. We don't know. But who do you think's winning the main event? Let's just start with the main event. It's Rollins.
Oh boy. I think Rollins should probably keep it, but I think they might end up going with Orton. So
you think?
I think they might.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I think Rollins keeps this for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think he should.
I agree, but you never know.
I don't know. They might get squirrely.
Yeah, I think Dean Ambrose was added to take a pin.
Yeah, I think
to
so
end
too.
the match because it's a fatal 4-way. I believe.
Unfortunately, I believe that is probably the case.
Yep. Let's see here. John Cena Rusev. I quit match.
Guessing John Cena is not going to be quitting anytime soon, so I'm betting Rusev loses this one.
John Cena does have merchandise that does literally say "Never give up." So him winning an I believe John Cena. I'm gonna make it here. I think this is the rubber match.
Yeah.
I think he loses.
Oh really?
I think he loses into a weird thing. I think there's two ways this can end. I think this is a weird thing where John Cena loses via referee decision because he gets accoladed to the point where he's passed out.
Oh, yeah.
And he's unable to say, I quit, but he can't continue the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it ends in a draw or something weird like that, or he just wins by ref decision.
Yeah, you're probably right. I hate that kind of shit, but you're probably right.
Yeah, because they can't have him lose to Cena 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
You can't really do a program with Cena and lose. You know what I mean? But the problem is that Cena has the belt, and they can't give the belt to Rusev.
They can't. So you're right.
So I think it's going to win in some sort of weird way.
Yeah.
Where the referee stoppage is the end of the match, but they don't give the belt, which is the opposite what happened with the Sami Zayn belt thing.
Yeah.
But I think in this situation they can say referee stoppage ended the match, but he did not say I quit, so the match is not over. And then Rusev will go crazy and beat up the refs, and Lana might be like, hey, please stop, because she's kind of doing a bit of a face turn now, Lana. Yeah. So I can see her being like, no, don't. And he yells at her a bunch, and then he accolades him again. Mm-hmm. Other ending I could see is her running in and saying that he quits, and them calling the match. Her saying, I quit.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that may happen. Leading to more to the split between Lana and Rusev. But we'll see. Adam, you getting lined up here?
Lined up?
Bray Wyatt, Ryback, hottest feud.
Really?
Hottest.
Is it the hottest? Hot feud.
I don't know what the fuck happens here. Bray Wyatt, I guess, was been slowly mentioning Ryback for a while, and they finally met this week.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Both of these guys kind of need a win.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been Bray Wyatt's deal to just
I think Bray Wyatt gets the win
big-scale
here.
matches to people.
Yeah.
He's not so scary. I mean, he's supposed to be the new face of fear, but he's not all that scary.
I think he gets Ryback, a win off Ryback.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. All right, we got the ever increasingly awesome New Day, who have been killing it on Raw with their ridiculous over-the-top antics, and it's been great. Versus the Brass Ring Club, I believe, for the title again.
Oh, boy.
I think that the New Day is going to retain here. I'd love to see the Swiss Superman and the Canadian champion Tyson Kidd win. But maybe it's possible that they have a...
I think they take it back, and that New Day goes kind of crazy.
Yeah, maybe that could be an interesting way to do it. Is have them take that and then just go crazy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of. I think that's what's going to happen.
Either that, or we're going to see the Tyson Kidd Cesaro pairing move on to singles competition.
Yeah,
because I think they can both play pretty good heels, and they could use some more heels in the singles division, especially in the intercontinental title race. Which, there's some big news we can talk about.
Yeah.
Which has opened up as Daniel Bryan has relinquished his title.
Ooh.
He gave it up in a very heartfelt speech, and he says he doesn't know what's going to happen.
Ooh.
But all he knows is that he isn't going to be wrestling anytime soon, and you guys deserve to see the title being fought over. So there's no timetable for his return, and who knows?
Damn. That's rough.
I don't know what's going on. The WWE is being 100% tight-lipped about this. Mm-hmm. Speculation was early on that it was a concussion, but that was denied. But I think it was a concussion because the WWE recently got into a concussion lawsuit.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted to try, and then so they, there's no more curb stomp.
Mm.
And I think they're trying to maybe walk it back for Bryan that it was a concussion.
Yeah.
And maybe be quiet about it. And then when he comes back, it'll just be like, okay. But he may have had a bad one, and he's going to be out for a while, or he may have re-aggravated his injury. So I'm worried he may be done.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's
kind
of sad.
Jeez.
We'll see. But that's done. We got Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus. This is basically all rematches.
Yeah. It's payback.
It is payback. It's kind of what it is. Sheamus, Ziggler, what do you think? I think Sheamus has got this.
You think so?
Oh, for sure. Because Ziggler doesn't have to kiss the butt this time, even though he had to last time because Sheamus was terrible.
Yeah.
But I think Sheamus gets his win back here. Maybe through some dastardly heelish.
I was going to say, I think if he does, it's got to be a dirty
Oh,
win.
yeah, of course. He's a heel. It's going to be dirty. But everyone's going to meet, of course, Adam, in the newly announced Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental title.
Oh.
That's a network-exclusive match. So we'll be able to watch that on, I believe, the 31st, Sunday the 31st.
Okay.
They're just going to have an Intercontinental... they're going to have an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, basically, that Sunday. We're getting 2 this month.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. Because there's going to also be apparently a tag team match there as well for the title.
Huh.
So we'll see who that is. So they're going to do a tag team in the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a few matches. I don't know. So I guess May is a free month for new subscribers. They're trying to pack it with stuff.
Yeah.
I think Sheamus needs to win this because he needs to become credible.
You're right. You're right.
He's got to be an awful person to win this.
I've never been a big Sheamus fan. I do kind of like what he's doing now, but I don't know. My man, Zigga, I want him to win.
Yeah. All right, we got King Barrett.
You're probably right, though.
King Barrett versus Adrian Neville. There is no title on the line for this match.
Oh, which means that Barrett's going to lose.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like Neville gets the win here, just as he...
That'd be big for him,
I think it's going to be a great match.
Yeah.
Neville will win with the red arrow, but Bullhammer after the match...
Oh, yeah.
Still showing he's standing tall.
Yeah, totally.
I agree. I mean, Neville also fought Cena for the U.S. title and the challenge this week. And Neville had seen a beat.
Yeah?
But Rusev interfered.
Oh.
So...
Okay.
So it would be weird for Neville to immediately lose to Barrett after basically pinning John Cena and being pulled off after the Red Arrow. So, this feud basically is replacing Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And I think that Neville gets a win here. He needs to. He's new. He needs the win more than Barrett does. And Barrett can look like a heel with a loss still anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or he can get DQ'd. You know what I mean? Do something to get DQ'd, because this isn't a no DQ match. So, Bella Twins versus Tamina Snuka and Naomi.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay.
Here's a Divas tag match.
It's the Bella Twins.
I think that the Bella Twins are going to lose.
Yeah.
Because there's no title on the line.
Yeah.
I think that the best way they can book this is Tamina's kind of a heater. She's a big lady, scary, bruiser, vicious. She's always been. She was AJ Lee's like bodyguard basically back in the day. And I think this is AJ Lee's role. She was going to be AJ Lee and Tamina back together.
Yeah.
But that's not happened, so they put Naomi in the spot. And I think they're just going to have Naomi and Tamina just beat the shit out of the Bella Twins. Like real dastardly. You know.
Okay.
So I think the Bella Twins will lose, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, those guys were super heels."
Sounds like a sound.
And you want to know what the next another tag match we got here? Right.
Right.
The Ascension.
Oh boy.
Versus. You may remember the Mega Powers, right?
Nope, not even.
That was Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Mega Powers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah.
Now we're talking the Meta Powers. And that is Macho Mandow and Axelmania.
Oh, my God.
It's a pretty fun comedy act they've been doing, actually. I think the Macho Mandow gimmick kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But he's kind of been doing weird characters. And I would really like to see Macho Mandow, Axelmania getting a win here with them both acting as much like the other wrestlers as they can.
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to see, a match, not where they are themselves with those names, but really Sandow tries to act like Macho Man did in the ring.
Yeah.
And Axel, Curtis Axel acts the way Hulk did in the ring. I think that would be pretty cool. And obviously they're going to win this one because they're the crowd favorites.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right, let's move on because we're going to get through this.
Yep.
Okay, we got NXT TakeOver, Unstoppable.
All right.
Bayley and Charlotte versus Emma and Dana Brooke. Tag match.
I really hope Bayley and Charlotte win that one.
They're going to get it, obviously.
Dana Brooke, man. She's not terrible, but her character is the worst.
I agree. Her character is basically the personification of the stereotype of the terrible fitness model becomes a WWE performer.
Yeah.
That fans hate.
Yeah.
Which makes her a lovable heel, or not a lovable, but an instant heel without trying. So that's it. Rhino versus Baron Corbin.
This could be good.
Could be good. I think it's going to be good. I think it's a good move because it's going to be kind of a clash of two huge, unstoppable guys have been squashing each other.
Mm-hmm. I'm betting Rhino on this one though.
Yeah. I think that Baron Corbin needs to show himself here in this match because he's been doing a lot of squash matches.
I think it'd be nice if he did, but when it comes down to it, I don't know.
You don't have the faith?
No, I think they're pushing Rhino pretty hard.
Well, Rhino isn't a young guy. He's there as an enhancement guy.
Yeah.
But, because he's wrestled before, but I think that Baron Corbin's going to get the win here. But it's going to be pushed to the brink. Kicking out of finishers, both sides.
I think he could definitely use one. A real
I could see it because, when you watch these Baron Corbin matches, when it actually, isn't just a full squash and they get some offense in,
yeah,
he can take a lot of punishment. He can brawl.
Yeah.
I think they need to show more of that, you know?
They definitely do.
Because it seems like he just kind of dominates, and it's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
But Rhino obviously is not someone that's a squash match.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do there.
I like Rhino.
I do too.
Yeah.
He is perfectly named for what he looks like.
Yeah.
He is the human personification of a rhino.
That is accurate.
Yep. All right. Moving on. We got to move on. Mm-hmm. Enzo and Cass versus the Dubstep Cowboys, Blake and Murphy, for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Enzo and Cass lose it because of some stupid shit that's going on with Carmella and them.
Oh, well, they kind of moved away from that this week, actually.
Oh, did they?
So let's do a quick recap of NXT. Not a quick recap, but I want to talk about something that happened in NXT. So Carmella had a singles match with some other enhancement talent lady. Mm-hmm. And she came out, and she got some cheers. You know, she's been working more face.
Yeah.
And it was all right. She showed a lot of improvement in the ring, I thought. Man, she's attractive. I didn't think of that before until I saw her in her ring gear, and you're like, man, she's all leg.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a Laker girl. She was a basketball cheerleader for a while. But anyway, so she's a dancer turned NXT wrestler. But she's gotten better, definitely. She shows a really good emotion in the ring, which is nice. She's obviously a very good actress, at least when it comes to wrestling. But there's a moment where her match, she loses because the Dubstep Cowboys come out to, like, heckle her and catcall her, basically.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And she basically just tells them off, like, very convincingly. Enzo and Cass don't it's a very girl-powery kind of moment. So you have these two guys interfering with your match, making you lose. Mm-hmm. And they come out, and they're like, hey, how's it going, Carmella? You know, and she's like, you know, fucking you creeps, leave me alone.
Yeah.
And she started... you know, the crowd started chanting "No means no," and it was really good. And you know, she was really feeding off of it. And then she started, you know, basically cutting a promo on them in front of them about how terrible they are and creepy and gross. You know, and you're harassing me. And Enzo Cass never came out to save her. She holds her own.
Great.
And she calls them. She says, "I know what you are, and I'm going to spell it out for you." And she calls them SAWFT, and the crowd just goes wild. It was great. It was, you know, it was really good.
Yeah.
Really, that's what's so great about NXT. Female wrestlers get their, you know, no guy comes in to save her. She's able to hold her own, tell these two guys off, these two losers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, if that's
Enzo
the case,
and Cass
it gets a lot more tricky. Yeah.
have been really good.
Yeah.
But I think that
They need to
Blake
lose.
and Murphy as heels have been coming along. Because remember 2 weeks ago when their heel move was to stop Enzo and Cass from entering, basically?
Yes.
They've been doing some real good healing. I believe Wesley Blake has a ridiculous top knot now that he has on top of his hair. And they've both been kind of acting sleazy and like gross and kind of interfering with stuff. And I really see them needing more time as heels.
Okay.
So I think maybe they hold on this one more. But I really would love to see Enzo and Cass winning. But it would suck to see him lose, you know.
Yeah.
But there really isn't. I mean, if you think about the tag team division right now,
There's nobody.
there's the Vaudevillains. Mm-hmm. The
I haven't seen
Dubstep
them
Cowboys.
in weeks, though.
No, they've been running this feud right now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bring them back soon.
Okay.
You know, but they're kind of running this story. There's
Yeah.
so much they have to show in the show that they kind of can only run one tag feud right now for the men. Because they have the women. Because unlike main WWE, their women's division actually gets time. They had 2 matches this week. So that was pretty good. Actually, wait, did they do the signing this week? Was the contract signing this week?
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, they had 2 matches. Sasha Banks had a squash match. And Becky... I'm sorry. Carmella lost to Alexa Bliss. That was it.
Oh, okay.
But Sasha Banks had a squash match and this week. So there were 2 women's matches, of course. And they were both great. You know, because it's NXT and they know how to book it. But let's talk about Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch.
Oh, man.
They had a really good promo for Becky Lynch. And I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I think Sasha's going to continue.
I think so too.
With this, so
it's a little too early for her to give it up.
Interesting, the show at Philadelphia, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte main evented the show.
Oh, nice.
So just to tell you how important the female thing is. I think that Becky Lynch is going to end up in another... I guess she kind of barely squeaked in the number one contenders match. Takeover, the last Takeover. So basically snuck in and stole the win.
Yeah.
So I feel like having her lose to Sasha Banks is impossible. I think that Sasha Banks has got to continue.
Yeah.
We got some interesting things going on above this. Number one contender match for the NXT Championship. Tyler Breeze, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, triple threat.
Oh, my God.
We got some problems.
Yeah?
Hideo Itami apparently needs surgery.
Oh, no.
It's going to put him out for 6 months to a year.
Oh, no.
He's going to be gone for a long time.
He was just doing so good, too. He was really
they're touring Japan in July. Yeah. And Itami is not on the roster for that.
Man, that sucks.
Think about this, though. People that have been watching house shows, though...
Yeah.
And on TV, he's not shown any injury signs, and the WWE has not mentioned it. Yeah. This is rumor. So maybe it's an injury he can work with that just needs to get fixed before he can continue with his career. This could be something like a shoulder pain or something, like a torn ligament.
Yeah.
That he can still work on, especially since he doesn't do a lot of wrestling grappling. He's more kicks and high-flying stuff.
Strikes and stuff.
Strikes, yeah, definitely. So I have a feeling he's not going to win this, though, because of that.
Yeah,
I think that Tyler Breeze is probably going to be there. They really pushed up Prince Pretty.
Yeah, they have.
This week is also no slouch. He and Adam Rose tag teamed together to wrestle Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And
you see that.
And Adam Rose, I think, soaked the pin. But Tyler Breeze again cleared the ring of everybody at the end, standing tall at the end. So,
okay,
yeah, that was a really good match. And I think that I don't know, I think
I don't know Finn Balor, man, but he's already had it once. So,
interesting thing. So they did triple promos here talking about the title match, and so they asked him. So it's actually interesting because you got to see 3 promos with the same question and how they were different. So first up was Tyler Breeze, and the question was, if you win the W. Okay, I want you to guess what they say. If you end up winning the number one contenders match, who would you rather face, Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn? What do you think? What do you think Tyler Breeze said?
Oh man. I don't know.
This is basic promo work here, Adam. Come on.
I am no wrestler.
All right, Adam, let me just start with the first sentence. Excuse me? If I win?
Of course.
Of course. That's how that starts. Mm-hmm. And what do you think about his preference between Owen or Zayn? What do you think he said about that?
Zayn.
God damn it, you're the worst. You don't know anything about wrestling. Adam, it doesn't matter who I fight because I'm going to win.
I was going to say that, but that's almost too obvious. I would have thought
what he said.
Something.
Finn Balor. If I win, I don't care if it's Owens or Zayn.
Yeah.
I could beat either of them.
Yeah.
What did Hideo say?
Same thing.
Nope.
No?
I know. It was interesting seeing literally Finn Balor and Hideo and Tyler Breeze give the exact same promo.
Yeah.
And then Hideo saying, well, if I win this match, it'll be tough because the other two are great competitors. But I've been able to beat both of them before. So I think I can win this one. And if I win, I want to beat Kevin Owens because he's, the title holder now, and I think he deserves someone to take him down. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
There's a good promo. Like, interesting that the guy who doesn't speak English decides to take the least obvious route, you know?
Yeah.
Not the, obviously this is what you would expect everyone to say. And it was kind of fun. So I like that. Hideo Itami gets a few points in my book there for that. But it's kind of neat because they kind of had clips throughout the show of them giving their promo. And literally, almost word for word, Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor gave the same promo.
Yeah.
And Hideo Itami's was way different.
I was going to go that route, but I expected a little bit more
Nope.
from them. But I guess not.
All right, let's do the final here.
All right.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Adam, NXT this week started with something weird.
Yeah.
So they had the talk between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, both kind of met in the ring at the start of the show.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or not, maybe it didn't start the show, but they met during the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, enter the ring, and he's like, they show. Okay, so the camera pans over to Owens, and I shit you not, Sami Zayn voiceover says, "My injury on Raw last week is not going to affect me in this fight. I'm still going to fight you, Kevin Owens." And then it cuts back to Kevin Owens. I was a little jarred by it, and I was wondering, was that really a voiceover I just heard?
Yeah.
Because the camera pans over to just show Owens while Sammy's talking.
Yeah.
And he says those things, and then they continue on with their promo, because this was filmed before that injury.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would do that, but they did, and they definitely mentioned the injury quite a bit. But he's still fighting. They had a really good stare down there. And I guess on NXT, Sami Zayn underwent an MRI, but no updates are provided. They really, really haven't said what his injury is. It's a shoulder injury. They're being not specific about it. So
and it's a real one.
We don't know. It could not be.
Wow.
Who the fuck knows? This could all be so that KO can work that shoulder.
Yeah.
Because they've done it before. You know? They kind of had an interesting stare down where Sami Zayn's, asking him, and he has this amazing line because Kevin Owens is like, "I'm not going to talk to you," I'm not even going to say anything. Of course, Kevin Owens asks for the mic, right? And they talk, and he just isn't saying anything back to Zayn while Zayn's talking. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's just not responding, even though he asked for the mic, and then he just walks out. And then Sami Zayn, as he's walking out, says, "Well, what about your son? Does it kill you that your son wears a Sami Zayn shirt to school and not a Kevin Owens, one? How do you think your actions, work as a role model for your son? And just all this, starting in the psychological game there, I really liked.
Yeah.
With the Sami Zayn doing a little bit of the, bring the family up a little bit here. I kind of like that. Kevin Owens' response, as he said, the first match I fought you, I took you out, for a couple months. You said you had to go clear your head, but I know what happened. I hurt you. You were injured, and I'm going to end you. Your career will be over. I think he's getting called up to the main roster.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah. No, Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, yeah.
I think that this is going to end. He's going to be like he's murdered, and then he's going to be on Raw.
Yeah, probably.
Which is weird because sometimes they talk about interconnectedness like that.
Yeah.
Like Neville's, last time we saw him on NXT, he was destroyed by Kevin Owens, and he just appeared on Raw when he debuted. It's like, oh, he's fine. Yeah. So they kind of do some stuff like that. I don't know what's happening. That's what I kind of love about this. I don't know what they're going to do here.
Yeah.
I think that Zayn needs to win it, right?
Yeah.
Because he needs to get his title back. That's the long story here.
But if he's leaving, then it doesn't really matter. And
I wonder what's going to happen though, because
you need a reigning.
I know that
dictator.
NXT or WWE dirt sheets have said he chose to stay in NXT.
Yeah.
I think it was under the under the not supervision, but the I think he asked to stay to be with Kevin Owens, and they said that would be a good idea for both of you.
Yeah.
Because you guys can put together a stellar feud, which they have.
Yeah.
Which I think is not even close to being done, though. I think we got another couple. I think we got some more time with this.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens...
If we do have more time, I think probably Sami Zayn wins, and then it's Revenge of Owens.
I think it's going to be interesting. Finn Balor becoming number one contender. Because I don't think Tyler Breeze can become number one contender and then lose to Kevin Owens. Because he's been number one contender a few times and hasn't gotten it. Finn Balor, I don't think, has ever had an NXT title match.
Didn't he get the contender spot last time?
Yeah, maybe he lost to Owens. Did he lose to Owens? Maybe Tommy gets it and loses to Owens, you know?
Maybe.
It just sucks because Sami Zayn can only win the title back from Kevin Owens. You know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I would accept.
Right. Yeah,
but maybe Sammy's done. I don't know. That's what I fucking love about NXT.
Yeah.
It's not like the one we just talked about, Payback, where we're like, oh, I pretty much know how every single one of these matches is going to end.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. And apparently the house shows they had this weekend over Philly were just gangbusters. Everyone loved them. And the officials were real high on it. They were like, man, we need to build more touring for NXT.
Yeah.
And we want this to be a rival company, basically. We want to spin this off as an in-house competitor to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking, you know, like Coke owning Pepsi.
That's
you know
originally
what
what they wanted to do with SmackDown, right?
Yep.
But didn't work
Nope.
out that well.
Nah. People would rather watch NXT because it's a different cast.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's what they did back in the draft years. I wish they would go back to the draft. I really like that idea. That SmackDown and Raw have different competitors.
Yeah.
And then the pay-per-views, you'll have a SmackDown match, a Raw match. Because it really is like, the reason to watch SmackDown, you know, last time was because John Cena was on SmackDown, you know. But if you wanted to watch, you know, Randy Orton and, you know, Kane and all these guys, they're on Raw. You know, you had good guys in each roster that made both, you know, wanting to watch both. Whereas the way it feels now is Raw is the main show, and SmackDown is like, here's a couple leftovers.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens. So, kind of why I don't watch it. And then NXT I watch every week because it's incredible.
Exactly, yeah.
It's an hour long, all matches, few promos. Dana Brooke had another promo that was real cringeworthy this week.
Of course.
It was a little better, but, you know, she'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, Becky Lynch's promos were terrible to begin with, so.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's got to be hard, especially if you're someone who's not used to that. Sasha Banks came in perfect because, you know, she's goddamn Sasha
She's
Banks.
boss.
You know, Charlotte's promos were real bad for a while, but she got better. Bayley was pretty bad. She got better. You know, it's rare. I mean, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami are good because they've been working for a decade.
Right.
You know, these guys are all pros. They should be in the main roster right now.
Definitely.
They have the experience to be. Whereas the women's rosters, besides Becky Lynch, has been wrestling about as long as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I think. But besides like Becky Lynch, you know, they're all pretty new. You know, Sasha Banks is pretty new. She's only wrestling for 3 or 4 years, but she's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime talent, so she's there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Sasha Banks' finisher is probably my favorite.
Bank statement?
No, because it's not just the bank statement. It is the bank statement roll over into the crippler crossface.
Yeah.
The fact that she hits you in the back with her knees and then rolls over the top of you into a submission move.
Yeah.
You know, which is fucking one of the more vicious looking ones. I mean, it is Chris Benoit's crippler crossface.
Yeah.
Where you basically hold your hands in front of their face and are pulling their head back while your knee is in their back.
Yeah.
It is dangerously gross looking, and it is awesome. It's perfect for the boss. I'm looking forward to it. That's it, really.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that more than Payback quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I think I'm looking forward to the New Day match and Payback the most.
Yeah,
maybe the
I think
Rusev
so.
Cena, because I just don't know where they're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Cena puts on a good match, though, and
does.
Rusev's a good worker, too, so... You know, you may not be... It may be kind of, you know, Wonder Bread, but they always put a little bit of an interesting topping on top of it.
And
So
Zig will be in there. So.
yeah, it's true. He always puts on a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Just, I guess, you know what? I was really kind of blasé on, was it Extreme Rules? And that ended up being a really good show.
True.
So I had a really good main event with with those two. Or no, I'm sorry. That was Roman Reigns had that great match with Big Show. I mean, that was legitimate. Okay, you're performing at 80% of your number 1 5-star guy. You know what I mean? You're getting there. It's going to be good. Mm-hmm. So that's it. I don't know. We're getting late here.
Yeah, we are.
We're probably 3 hours right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Yay! Fuck. All right. May is gonna suck. Good. Oh, I only have to fit 2 more episodes under the data cap. Well, I don't even want to know where that is.
Okay.
Let me end the episode.
All right.
All right. Stop broadcast. No, but I went to my brother's graduation. Mm-hmm. I mean, he got a fucking PhD, so.
Yeah.
It's that's a real thing that you're going to want to, do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Rather than, I don't know.
Yeah, be one of, 15,000 people picking up.
Yeah, it's come on. It's undergrad. It's not really an exciting thing.
Yeah.
Unless it is, exciting for you, I guess. Mm. If you, come from, a background where, none of your families graduated college or, something crazy like that. That's it, really. Just seems like a bit, it's I guess the high school one's probably better.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as big, so it's kind of yay. It's like you being an adult. Mm-hmm. That's it, really. But, fucking college undergrads, too much pomp and circumstance for too little of accomplishment, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Not like it's a little accomplishment, clearly, right, Adam? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Right, Adam? Mm-hmm. All right, let's see here. I'm going to the city, and I'm looking for some apartments.
How's that going?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting places September 1st we're looking for.
Yeah.
Because Springtree is fucking terrible, and our lease ends at August 31st for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of expensive.
Yeah.
You ever so do you still follow I Fucking Love Science on Facebook?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's do this.